Supposedly Mike is paying a punishment right now.
All right, I'm going to cut you off.
He just looks cool.
No, I'm going to cut you off because I feel the animosity because I'm able to pull off this Dentec punishment.
It's supposed to be a cowboy?
Okay, like you were crawling through the desert having called Dan Deal beef.
But that's also not a cowboy hat. Like
Yeah.
that's a hat someone from the Lumineers would wear.
That actually cuts me to my core and hurts more than the actual punishment. But
I think you look cool.
Those
you.
nicknames were hard to pull off.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, what are we doing? Roy brought Greg like 2 waters. And we call that a punishment.
Whoa. It's 2 waters, 2 coffees, an ice pack, and an ottoman.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no.
I like
real suffrage.
I will say
I did.
the way you're holding the headphones, that does seem like it stinks.
This is a true punishment. This is, how the last punishment was like, wow, that's a really cool like Pfizer racing shirt, but you guys didn't have to shop for jeans at a thrift shop. That's its own unique hell. And here, having to wear a cowboy hat, they haven't made functional headphones for a cowboy hat.
This is not a cowboy hat.
This is I can't put my headphones over it. Oh, wait. No, we're good. Oh, yeah, this is easy.
You know whose fault this is, right?
The Dallas Cowboys.
UD?
Udonis Haslem. I mean, from all I've heard of, he's the enforcer. He's going to come in and make people do the things that what's Mike doing? He wore this shirt in Mexico with me. This is not a punishment.
I do love this shirt, and I love this hat, and I do look good.
I should have known better than when Mike said, "Oh no, I've got a cowboy outfit that I can wear."
Sweet.
What is your punishment? What is
I
it?
had to wear the mascot costume of the team that lost for me at the Dentec Bucket, and I had the Cowboys.
That's you as a cowboy?
Yeah, I'm a cowboy.
And it's a cowboy. It's not just a cowboy, but
What do you dress as, an asshole?
A cowboy that Jeremy thinks is cool, and Chris is saying should be your new look. That all you've done is dress how you would normally dress and put on a hat, and a hat that's not quite a cowboy's hat. It's not quite a cowboy hat.
It's not a cowboy hat.
It seems like you guys are just jealous because I'm handsome.
Well, yeah.
Well,
Tell
noted.
me about shopping.
agreed with.
Tell me about shopping for the thrift shop for jeans. Tell me about that.
He went to a store that was the best thrift store in Miami and shopped for jeans that were probably like 160
I don't even know
bucks.
if you
What-
can
like, what are we
call it
talking about?
a thrift store. It's more of just a cool
It's a
vintage
vintage
shop.
Vintage. It's
Yes,
vintage.
that's
Those are not synonyms. That's you stealing from Metal Art.
Again, it's Udonis' fault.
Well,
He's going to be taught 2 lessons.
That is
Today's
true.
show, because I look really cool, and on the Magic City Fronton, when our Cyclones beat his Renegades once again.
Down year for the Gades.
I'm going to need you guys' help on all of this because Udonis is asking too much money to be an enforcer.
You are a bad negotiator. You're just a terrible negotiator. You told the audience he was joining us. He assigned a job, and now you're saying he's asking for too much money. Just bad negotiator.
This is like the Charlie Sheen doc all over again.
Let's go for a breakaway on the chains to raise the cup. We'll be standing on our heads till we meet them at center ice. Hockey is back, Jack. Hockey is back, Jack. Hockey is back, Jack, baby, and we'll meet you at center ice.
Zaslow, I've got a burning building here with the Miami Dolphins, and I've got Tua out in front, and press conference have to be given when you're out in front of a burning building. And this is as high as the flames can climb on a franchise, and what it made me do is do something in the realm of journalistic, and I'm going to just say that I haven't done this in a few years, but I made some calls.
Oh.
The emeritus.
Now, yeah. Is this like? Did you feel pressure yesterday?
Well, here's the thing. Mike Ryan is old enough to know. I want to know what what I made some calls means when Mike Ryan happens to know, and what is the highest form of journalistic intelligence we have around here when we're just saying, "Hey, wink, wink, trust us on this. We've got journalistic sources here."
When Herald columnist emeritus says he's made some calls, that's higher on the totem pole. Even though historically the more important things go at the bottom of the totem pole, that is, but people are dumb. That is higher on the totem pole than I happen to know.
That doesn't make sense. Like, no one would ever say, I'm really low on the totem pole to say how important they are. I gotta push back on that.
You happen to know after the phone call. Just saying you made the phone call, you might not have found out anything.
Well, we can compare notes because you made a couple phone calls, and when it comes to the University of Florida, I happen to know.
Whoa.
Okay, so we've got competing.
He happens to know?
Yeah.
Great Scott,
this
he
is
happens
big.
to know.
This is a
He
big
happens
hour.
to know. Gather, everyone. Get the children. He happens to know. So wise.
I mean, Mike's got some credentials here, Zaz, in that when Mike's reporting things, whether it's Messi to Miami, beating everyone around the globe as an insider, or from the insides of the business of football, where you're seeing, hey, James Franklin, $50 million? No, this is where we play now. Everyone's playing Phil Knight, and it takes $20 million to get in the game. And so I want to talk about what's happening in two places here. One, with Tua, as a building burns, and everyone tries to get out. And how do you imagine, just even if I didn't make these calls, how do you imagine it would be to be Tua when everything around your franchise is everyone's about to be swept out to sea here, and Tua, you're going to end up in the backup lane as bad contract guy. Like, and it's all, everyone for themselves, and the moment demands real leadership. But how do you lead when you're giving a press conference in front of a burning building? And what you guys thought was gibberish yesterday in the press conference after the game, where he's saying, no, it's on me, it's on me, it's on me.
He's talking about multitasking. What are we talking about?
No, this was a huge overcorrection from somebody who's giving press conferences in front of a burning building. And the mistake that he made is, hey, I won the Chargers game. Not my fault. I won the Chargers game. Everyone else's fault. They don't show up to meetings. That's why we didn't make 2 tackles. That's why Jalen Phillips didn't make that tackle. Now.
All right. You get 5 burning buildings in the first segment. Yeah. This is Puka's open hands.
Okay, I'll stop here. I'm just telling you that what's happened to that has real human cost on leadership, whether you're risking your brain being scrambled or talking to your family about, should I play or should I quit for the $250 million? Should I risk this? And yesterday we're talking about, well, is it gibberish because his brain is concussed, okay? What happened in that press conference is that Tua wildly overcorrected because he realized the error and the mistake in throwing out into the public in front of everybody, this is everyone else's fault and not mine, in a room full of employees who come to the same meetings he does every day, and their bodies hurt just as much as he does, and they're in the burning building too. That's the last one.
I doubt that.
Tua lost his guys.
And they don't have the contract and... they don't have the, what's the word I'm looking for? The contract and the
signing bonus, the guarantees.
Yes, the guarantees essentially. That
certainties, is that where you got stuck?
Yeah, I said certainties.
The point is the money's about to dry up and everyone's going to be swept out to sea. And Tua's sitting there on the life raft saying it's not my fault, and he lost everybody. That's not leadership.
No, but now he's saying it's totally his fault.
But
it's a mess. It's a mess. And I will say, like, we've done this show several times over the decades where it's like, I'm not sure the Flames can reach much higher on this franchise. They move buildings, but if you went to the one in Davie, you'd see the torched embers of Bullygate. You know, like, it happens a lot to bad franchises.
For the point of the fun we made about Tyreek Hill being the leader of the team, all of a sudden now you move Tyreek Hill out of that locker room and everybody's looking around saying, all right, so who is the leader of the team? Tua, is it you? And he's like,
no, but
I
guys,
think so.
No, but guys, let's really deconstruct. This is amazing to watch, like the architecture of this. Before the season started, you've got 2 players on the Dolphins and only 2 who are stars, national stars. It's Tua and Tyreek Hill. This is what Tyreek Hill came down here for. He quit on last season at the very end. The pressure of all that was too much for him. He's whimpering on his way out the door. And so this season starts with Tua saying, well, my guy's going to have to rebuild some trust. And we said, look at Tua being a leader. All right. It's a little easier to do when you got the guaranteed money. Mm-hmm. And it's also very hard for you to do when you're risking your brain in a way that others aren't because you care as well. But now the noise starts. The Zaslows are firing your coach every week. Everything is pulsating in the city. And Greg Cody is a month late to the opinion these guys all suck. No one can lead them. And the truth is, of course no one can lead them. Who the hell could? At this point, it's tethered to nothing. They're all being swept out to sea, getting demotions on what were their careers. Everybody at the top of the franchise. Like, there is no one to salvage them. There's no future hope pick who would be Jaylen Waddle. But I want to talk to you guys about the specifics of he walks back into the room without knowing that he's broken it. He walks back in after that Chargers game. Wasn't me. I saved us at the end. Like, Zaz, like, that's how that shit climbs. And it just engulfed him. Tua will have a hard time bringing the career back from the ashes of this punctuation.
Is that what he's talking about, where in the nonsense post-game press conference where he's talking about, I'm trying to bring guys with me, and like that, when you put it that way, it sounds like a guy who is trying to get people to come with him, but he's having a hard time.
The Miami Dolphins are a giant business in the middle of our city, and it makes money for a lot of people. These guys are the stars locally. They haven't deserved it. The franchise hasn't earned it the last 25 years. They're a laughing stock. Generation after generation, the only thing that's the same always is the owner, except he desecrated everything that Joe Robbie and Huizenga did before him. Like, that's his great shame at the end of his life. Makes a lot of money, but is a loser. Makes a good stadium, brings F1 down here, but is a professional sports loser.
Could never hire the right
Can make money, but not wins.
A hell of a stadium. I mean, that franchise
It's a good game day experience.
Oh, it's a great stadium. No venue in the world like it.
Yeah.
Playing the conga now on third downs.
Well,
Yeah, well,
for UM games.
that's a problem.
yeah. How could Tua, though, be so bad at the leadership aspect of this? Dan, he's not in his second year.
It can't be led.
He's in his sixth
What
year.
I'm telling you is it can't be led. Look, Mike is old enough to know. This is why I was laughing about the making of calls. It used to Adam
Old
Ga-
enough to know?
Oh
He's
my
old
God,
enough to
he's
know.
old.
I see
My
his
God,
grades.
he's old.
Oh my God, he's old.
How do you introduce yourself on the
So
call?
old.
Do you say, is this columnist emeritus? Dan Le Batard?
I blow the cobwebs off a landline.
Is that why he's wearing that hat?
What's under
You
there,
better
buddy?
be going somewhere after 40, pal. I need you to explain this one to me real quick.
He's old enough to know Adam Gase came over to the Clevelander at one time when coaches to come kiss the media ring of how information gets brokered to protect your jobs.
It's an Adam Gase reference. We're good.
The Dolphins don't have a thing other than Hill and Tua and McDaniel. That's their face to the league.
Right, but look, I don't know if it's a leadership problem that's plagued this franchise since the turn of the century, but they had Bill Parcells and Nick Saban at the helm. Those guys reputed to be really good leaders. Sometimes it's the dudes on the field.
Okay, but it could also be as simple as Saban would still be the coach here over all of these years, and we wouldn't have had any of these bozos because he selected Drew Brees and made Drew Brees what Sean Payton made Drew Brees and never left Miami for Alabama because he loved it so much here. That was a doctor's decision that kept Saban from loving Miami because instead of 6-8 or 6-10, he was going to be able to be 10-6 every year.
Nick Saban's greatness is so understood and universally accepted that people think that he could do with Drew Brees what Sean Payton did, and Sean Payton has proven that he's really good at working with quarterbacks. Who's to say, like, when we say that, maybe Dante Culpepper has a Hall of Fame career if he ends up being the guy.
I was all in
Everybody
on
should go
Culpepper.
Knights, man.
I loved him. I was wrong.
Do we have this right when LaShawn McCoy says on his podcast of Tua, he stinks? When they
No, he's
paid
not
him,
wrong. Oh, there's more. Okay, sorry.
when they paid him, I couldn't believe it. Why are they paying him? What are they paying him for? The gig's up, bro. Tua has 22 interceptions in his first 30 games under McDaniel, but has thrown 18 picks in 19 games since.
Yeah, see, I think that revisionist history is garbage.
Right. The revisionist history that should be applied
Garbage.
was like the only concern around this contract was he's a hit away.
Right. When the contract was given, everyone else in his draft class had already signed those deals. This was the going rate. They didn't give him he didn't become the highest paid quarterback. It was like Dak Prescott. This is the going rate to sign a quarterback who's had some type of success in the league to another contract. And the second part of it is we're talking as if the guy we're seeing today from, Tua is the same as the one who got that contract. It's not. That was a good player. This is a bad player. So, it's revisionist history to talk about he should have never gotten that contract. You can't predict that he's going to be washed in 2 years from now, which is what's happened.
Yeah, but Zaz, the thing is, you look at the open market and you go, all right, you want to test free agency? Go ahead. Who's going to give you that kind of offer? Nobody was going to give Tua that kind of money.
I think you're wrong.
Really? You think
somebody
so?
would have?
With the with what we saw on national
These
TV,
teams
somebody
are
said,
so
yeah, I'm going to give him $200 million.
desperate for a quarterback. It's the only way to win in the league. One of the 32 teams out there is desperate enough to sign a guy who just came off of being the most passing yards in the NFL. Absolutely.
Do you guys not sort of realize that the trilogy in this is it is without precedent in the market where everyone in the same half season gets swept out to sea? Like, what will be left here? We just saw Tua's punctuation. He verbalized it, and he goes down in the flames now as well. In half a season, we will turn to the Dolphins to be like, who leads them? Who do you care about on this team? Who goes into the next incarnation? Waddle and Achane? Like, what have they left here? It's all going to be embers. They went all in on, we're going to get Tyreek Hill. We're going to get Chubb. We're close to the Chiefs. We're right there.
We got one of their guys over here.
Guys.
I'll be honest. I'm surprised that they're not taking calls on Jaylen Waddle.
They should.
That contract looks like it sucks now, all right? And he's not a bad wide receiver. He's fine, but that contract sucks.
He's a great number 3.
Big Dog was saying today he wouldn't even take a 1 for him.
You mean
Joe Rose said he would turn down a first-round pick.
So
for
he
Waddle.
he wouldn't trade him.
He's like, it would have to be like a top 5 pick for me to say yes to that.
What?
I think you heard that wrong. I don't even believe you.
No, I can't. I'm with you, Zaz.
I think you heard that wrong.
Yes.
That doesn't make sense.
Might be time if that's Joe's take.
Carrying water.
I think you. Why are you making things up this morning, Chris?
I'm not. I
he's
was
not.
listening.
Listen to me.
Big Dog wants a protected fish.
Chris Cody loves Joe Rose, will always love Joe Rose. He comes in, barrels in every day saying this is what the Big Dog said. I don't know why the Big Dog has him on a leash, but Chris Cody didn't just have his own opinion there. As a lifelong Dolphin fan, no. He's going to recycle the Big Dogs.
Let's just make sure we're clear on what Chris is saying that Joe Rose said. He would only trade Jaylen Waddle for a top 5 pick.
His first take was there's 3 guys on this team you keep. Paul, Achane, and Waddle.
Who's
Paul's
Paul?
the second-round left tackle. No. That's a good pick. The Dolphins last year, second-round pick, left tackle, Patrick Paul. He seems like he's going to be legit.
I had no idea what his first or last name was.
Patrick Paul. He's supposedly a good left tackle. So he's like, those are the 3 guys. And then his producer started pushing.
The first one he went with was Paul.
Patrick Paul.
No,
Dolphin fans know Paul.
Tony playing. Chris, you are doing the correct thing.
You guys are showing your
there.
ass here if you guys don't know who Patrick Paul
Say
is.
him third.
Chris, it's not what I'm doing.
He's like their number 1. I would say he's the most keepable.
That's on his blind side, though, to a lefty. Yeah.
It's true. Not as valuable.
Go ahead.
Chris, I understand your defensive posture. You are correct.
Paul.
Paul, Achane, and Waddle.
Listen.
You go Achane, Waddle,
A
Paul.
law firm.
Okay, listen. Chris, I'm just going to explain something to you real quick, just on what's happening behind you right now, okay? I understand that you are correct that Paul is indeed a redeemable Dolphin, one of 3 they have on a roster that has 50 more of those.
And then Hollywood
But
pushes back. What about you got to
no,
give up
just
Waddle?
Let me just finish for a second, Chris.
Well, I kind of want to hear what Hollywood thinks.
I'm pretty sure that Tony and Mike are only laughing at you because they think that you just identified some guy named Paul that they've got playing left tackle who they just assume is just they've got to keep Waddle, they got to keep nobody else, and just that guy Paul.
Paul, he's there.
Yeah. No, we're the butt of the joke. I had no idea who you were talking
Paul,
about.
the guy
It's
who makes
just
some smoothies,
Some
right?
dude named Paul.
First name or last name?
Patrick Paul, left tackle, second-round pick last season.
You're correct, but the big dog is in your dreams right now when he says, the big dog tells you on the way in, and of course this is lunacy what he's saying. Big dog, you've seen wide receivers. Come on, big dog. Waddle is not a number one. He's a nice number two, and it is now a terrible contract added to the pile of $895 million of those that Chris Grier gives on the way out the door as be careful how you fire the black man. Brian Flores has a lawsuit in town, and I'm sorry I stepped on the joke yesterday that said that the Dolphins would be firing consecutive black coaches.
Good job, Dan.
I think a lot of the audience probably doesn't still know that Mike McDaniel is black.
Get out of here with that.
I don't think you're qualified.
Hold on a minute.
Get out of here.
It's been 3 years.
You're not the one to say it.
Get out of here. I'll say it right now. Get out of here.
You can say it. Be careful.
Mike
Roy?
McDaniel. Be careful, Mike McDaniel. What are you talking about?
I don't think you're qualified to be. I don't think you're the qualified. This is not a place I'd put you as judge, but you have said you're a race expert.
Race war experts.
I mean,
Gonna start one.
You know what? I don't think I am. Mike McDaniel.
is that crackling I hear?
Do we
Cozy,
think that
right?
this is more of a blaze or an inferno around the Dolphins? Like if we were to try to categorize this fire, blaze, inferno.
Or just a warm fire in the living room.
No, at Tyreek's house, behind Mike, right there. The picture of Tyreek's house when it did catch fire.
Do you think Tyreek watches the Dolphin games?
That's a great question. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Do you think Tyreek watches the Dolphins
Gotta
games?
go no.
Yes or no? Well, but I wonder if you've broken your leg in the name of this cause, and like I'm saying to you, he couldn't be the leader. He couldn't be the captain. Remember these conversations we were having before the season? Tyreek Hill cannot be the leader of this team. How was everybody right about these Dolphins that when they said, whatever, soft, not made for this, not led by anybody, really? Tyreek Hill comes, gets his stardom. Everyone knows, oh, the whole thing works only if he's faster than everyone else. That's where it works best, all of it. Tua gets his money, and a room full of people who haven't. Tua says, their fault, not mine. And that's a giant business in Miami. And to see it go up in flames like this, I can say, I think historically, 50 years in, there's never been anything like it. There's never, where your GM is the GM that has the longest stretch of never winning a playoff game, and you're just recycling through coaches, and all of them stumble at the finish line, all of them since Saban, and your organization is bad for a quarter century. When all the rules legislate that everything should be equal, your team is the worst. If only the Jets didn't exist.
I feel like Cody said it like in passing yesterday, the lawsuit Chris Grier thing, but I'm having trouble digesting that. I think he's right. I think it's a really big thing, and that's why Chris Grier may not be going anywhere.
That needs some reporting. I don't think we
That
can
seems
do.
like
I
a
don't.
really
No, I don't
big
think.
deal.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I don't think we can do that way. Like you can't just throw like.
Time to throw away all journalistic credibility and get reckless. Here is something we like to call reckless speculation.
You're good.
Is it reckless? Is it reckless to think that if Chris Grier is no longer employed by the Dolphins, that he may side with the lawsuit as opposed to his former employer who just fired him?
Yes.
That's reckless?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
But I love it. It's scandalous and wrong, but I do love it. Wait a minute. I just on human terms, think of it this way. On just human terms, you're Stephen Ross. You can buy anything you want in the world. You have not been able to buy I'm a competent Miami Dolphins owner. And at the end, the other black guy I gave a chance is going to be in the lawsuit that tells everybody all my secrets about all the things I was doing. And that's going to be the punctuation of not only my ownership, but of my life, because I'm in my 80s and I desperately did. Like, I'm imagining that Stephen Ross, like, think about this and the things rich people can buy. I'm imagining that Stephen Ross, what hurts him the most here is that people don't think he cares, that he's just running the franchise, that he doesn't care.
I think he cares a lot.
And if it's the opposite of that, and that's still an opinion you can't change for as long as you live with all the money in the world, when you've made a big, giant economy in Miami with land over there around that stadium, land, I'll remind you, that Joe Robbie's family went bankrupt trying to protect because these businesses are giant economies. And I've never seen this one swallowed this way. I don't think it's overreaction to say that half a season in, not even the 1-15 season, because they got Cam Cameron out in a year, that there's never been this where you just see like, wait, you blink and you're like, okay, so one of the most precious jewels in the history of South Florida, they're going to have to start all over from nothing again? From nothing. No quarterback. Achane, if you don't break his leg on the way out. And Waller, like what?
But that's the league. It's a league.
That's not the league.
It is. If you're not the Steelers or Packers.
For some teams, yeah.
Like, that's the league. It really is. Look at your division. It was the Bills for a very long time.
How much do you imagine it burns Stephen Ross that at the end he can't buy? We'll laugh at you till the grave. You will not dig this out. It will not. Your punctuation here will be, you ran it all into the ground. For 25 years, you ran the entire – do you know how arrogant the Dolphins have been about business in this town for 40 years?
What is the discourse amongst Dolphin fans around Stephen Ross? Do they think he's a buffoon?
I don't hear as negative as Dan talks.
No, I do. I think Dolphin fans, because I push back against this, because I think Stephen Ross does care a lot.
Yeah.
And I happen to think – now,
you happen to think.
Yeah, I happen to think.
I don't have imaging for that.
All right, get on
I
that.
happen to know Stephen Ross cares deeply.
Oh my God, he knows.
Oh, you happen to think versus I happen to know?
I know he cares
Come,
deeply.
everyone. Come and listen. Happens to know. He happens to know. Well informed.
I happen to think.
Okay.
Good for you, though.
I happen to think that Stephen Ross has been a good owner because he puts money into the team. It's a great game day experience.
He tries.
He does. He's not a deadbeat owner, but when you're not willing to make the change that is necessary for the football team to improve, that's where we are right now, I believe. It's like, dude, come on. But I hear plenty of Dolphin fans who think that he doesn't care at all and only cares about making money. I hear a lot of that.
Yeah, but spending money's easy for him, right? Oh, you're going to put an F1 track? All right, what's up? $100 million? Who cares? All right, do this, do that. Tennis, this, that, whatever. You know what's hard?
Not every owner's
that
like
easy, Tony?
True, but when
tennis.
but when you're a billionaire, you can make things happen very quickly. You know what's hard? Firing your GM, firing your coach, giving a quarterback $200 million that probably doesn't deserve it. That's the tough stuff that he just doesn't do.
Now, extra wrinkle, all right, in the whole lawsuit Chris Greer situation, that if he doesn't fire him, you know, let's keep him from talking. If he does fire him, are we sure that Chris Greer would then be Team Flores? Because they hated each other in the end.
Everybody hated Brian Flores down here. Stop it. He can fire the GM and head coach. He will at the end of the season. You think there is no shot these guys are coming back?
I'm concerned.
No shot.
Zero shot.
The only thing that he'd be doing in firing McDaniels and Greer is making people online happy that it happened sooner than it will happen.
Chris Greer was scouting Lenora Sellers and John Mateer this weekend.
That's hilarious. He has to be there.
I mean,
looking at other GMs like can you believe I'm here?
He would probably be doing that if he were out of work for the networking aspect because he wants to stay in the league.
I honestly bet he was networking.
Yes.
More than watching the court. You
Man.
have to be.
The writing's been on the wall. This is not like why fire the coach? That's a move that either placates a fan base, and it's been reported that he would give serious consideration to firing McDaniels if disinterest reached a certain level. So we'll see what the stadium looks like. I guess he would just be giving people a pound of flesh, but I would venture to say
fans want a pound of flesh,
which is different than happen to think or happen to know. But I would venture to say he's made up his mind.
I don't know.
I implore you to the degree that I can to, I know these people are cartoon characters, okay? The Stephen Ross that would have any degree of pride of not wanting to be an international embarrassment as a sports owner. Because, yeah, you can win the game of money the way Jerry Jones has won it and be respected with power, or you can buy your way into the club the way he did and just have, like, really 25 years of epic failure. It's not just the Patriots running your division. It's the Bills then taking it from you when they hadn't made the playoffs for 17 years. And all the rules are stacked so that you should. I give anyone 25 years, they're going to win a playoff game. Anybody. I can give a team of circus clowns 25 years will win. Will stumble into a playoff victory. One season with an assortment of leaderships. This has been an epic run of failure that makes the Dolphins in these 25 years, undisputably. This is not an overreaction. His presiding over this makes it a quarter century of failure in a team where the Heat took the town from him. NBA opens today. Heat took the town from him, and the Panthers have Brad Marchand as their champion leader face on national television because they've lost the town to teams that are organizations that have been run better, as Stephen Ross, with all the money in the world, has presided over. How do I get in the game with Kraft and Jerry Jones? And this is why I implore people to say, like, to understand, God, I wish these people didn't have a salary cap. Because at the end of his life, Stephen Ross would have made it rain billions trying to not have his life end with, oh, everyone's laughing at me at the end. To the grave. To the grave. Like Huizenga at the end, who owned this team, was being taken care of in hospice because he had lost his mind. And at the end, the legacy and empire meant nothing. Stephen Ross knows he's at the tail end of his life and career with this thing. He would pay any amount of money to not have it be this at the end of his life.
You're killing an 85-year-old billionaire. That's not how this works. Yeah. All right? Glenn Taylor, they thought he was going to die 20 years ago. These guys live forever. Yeah.
Drinking blood.
Buy a new heart or something.
The other thing that we have fresh reporting on.
What's a heart going for on the black market today?
You don't want to know.
I'll look it up.
Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show.
I got a guy.
Put an over-under. Put an over-under on this poll.
You want me to give you the real number, or no? You don't want the real number. The real number is $500K.
Kind of cheap.
Cheaper than you thought. But still,
because the body can reject it.
Exactly right.
Do you get money back if it does?
No, not on the black market.
Bitcoin, baby.
You're telling me I can buy a human heart for $500K?
Yeah.
500,000 as is.
Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, if you want it more souped up, right? You want, hey, I want this kind of heart, that kind of heart. Obviously, it's going to cost a little bit more.
AI is telling me the average cost of a heart transplant in the U.S. is approximately $1.9 million.
Yeah, but that's over.
Those are medical charges.
That's services.
Yeah, Tony's got a
that's
guy.
labor.
Right.
That's labor right there.
It's
yeah.
the heart.
Well, if the Democrats came to Congress,
Thank you. Thought we would get to that finally.
it's their shutdown. They own it.
I like this guy.
Hell of a ballroom.
Good hat.
Should be red.
$500K, Dano.
That's good.
I cannot believe the confidence with which you knew how much a human heart goes
like
for
right away,
on the
do
black market in Hialeah. Well, Tony is about those particular. Look, Tony, I've told you guys before that my father, who's not unlike his father, once found like a spare tire for me for $10 in a door that opened in Hialeah where they fixed my car for $10.
You know how many human hearts Stephen Ross could buy? 34,000. Wow. Because he has $17 billion. I think he's okay. At the end of his life.
That honestly seems low.
And you have to keep in mind,
$500,000 times
big Michigan booster. They won a natty.
Yeah. He's fine.
He's had some success.
Oh, so you guys don't think that it matters to him that he's an international laughingstock desecrating one of the great and proud franchises in the history of a league that just got this popular? The Dolphins, I will remind people again, winning his franchise 70s, 80s, 90s, in all of sports.
I don't think he's an international laughingstock. I don't think it's Shoreditch. They're like the Stephen Ross bruv. I don't think so. I don't. They're barely like. I had to ask Zaz, what's a temperature check on Stephen Ross? I think most people would say, yeah, the Dolphins are struggling, but Stephen Ross has done a pretty good job. Like, I remember what the conversation was like around Wayne Huizenga and how mad and sell the team. And yeah, you'll have segments of the fan base that'll do that whenever there are struggles. But I don't think the struggles are because Stephen Ross is, disinterested. I think he's super involved and is also trusting the people that he's hired. And he just hasn't made the right hires. That's the business. Only 4 franchises consistently over our lifetimes have been in the conversation routinely outside of a couple seasons here or there.
Well, and people down here treat it differently, right? Like, if you look at the way we responded to Jeffrey Loria, it was because they were selling high on players. That's not really ever what happens with the Dolphins. Like, they let things run their course, whether it's coaches or players. And most fans look at it as like, oh, man, I'm sad this didn't work out. The bigger criticism would be holding on to guys for too long, whether that was Ryan Tannehill or now Chris Greer at GM.
Well, let's look at his scandals, right? Bullygate happened on his watch. That was bad. He put together a council that featured Curtis Martin, and they had like a call. But they've
never got together. Pablo needs to find out about this. We've been trying to find out for years. We don't believe there was ever a meeting of that task force.
He's got this Brian Flores thing, which is adjacent to the pursuit of the greatest quarterback ever.
Yeah, the offensive line coach who was snorting them grains with the stripper.
Chris
Forrester. That was a fun night to work at WSBN.
Grains?
Yeah. So you're saying that's when it gets stuck
in the kids call him, man.
Got that big grain.
Cocaine is grains.
That's what it was his words, not mine. Yeah.
What?
What do you mean, what?
That was a
I didn't
crazy
say it.
video.
Are you looking at me?
I think of Bruce Sherman more negatively than I do the Dolphins.
Yes.
Relax.
I do.
Easy.
It's just like
sideline reporter. You sit this one out.
They haven't spent money. I know that they don't draw attendance.
They're
so
better. They've hired a president of baseball
Look,
operations that actually knows what he's doing.
Okay, a couple years ago, the Dolphins had a cup of coffee being good too. Like, don't get excited over like one good half a season. Like, I'm just saying.
No, the Marlins are better run.
That's crazy.
Whoa.
I disagree.
I
I
mean,
would push back on that.
It's an amazing narrative shift because Bruce Sherman wasn't spending any money, and he brought in Derek Jeter.
No,
and it was
I'm
a
just
disaster.
saying. I'm just saying over the last 12 months. I'm going to say over.
I mean, a small. Okay.
Okay, it's a tiny sample.
Okay, but what you were saying 2 years ago was Stephen Ross. You got it, man. Congratulations.
We can just look since
did it.
since Bruce Sherman has been here. How many years has Bruce Sherman been here, Jeremy? What, 10?
They've got a couple of
2018.
They've got a couple of playoff appearances.
That's exactly right.
I would think the Dolphins,
It's harder to do in baseball.
The Dolphins also have a couple of playoff experiences. I think over the last 4 years they
but
had the same
No,
amount.
but I don't want to speak for Jeremy. He can speak for himself. You haven't been paying attention to the last 12 months if you think this is still a poorly run organization. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
From a front office perspective. Like it really is. And we'll see what happens this offseason, like what supplements are put in there to add to what's been going on. But
I like
look
Bendix.
I'm
I'm
just
just
stale
pushing
organization in the Dolphins. Like I think that's the frustration, right?
I'm pushing back on Dan at just like I don't know what I'm doing. I might be wrong. I don't think of Stephen Ross as the main problem.
The Dolphins
with
have won. The Marlins have won 2 championships, and with no payroll, not with equal payrolls, with no payroll, and a pandemic season, they've made the playoffs twice. It's ridiculous, but it's harder to do than the Dolphins make it look in football, where over 25 years, I'm not kidding when I tell you, I could just hire a team of circus clowns in 25 years. I'll win a playoff game. A playoff game. One wild card playoff game. It's a crazy epic fail at the end of Stephen Ross's career.
The Browns won a playoff game.
That's true.
Marlins won a wild card series.
Panthers won 2 Stanley Cups.
Well,
We're back.
Yeah.
I want to get to one more happens to know because Mike Ryan has fresh reporting snooping around the Florida job. Billy Napier, I thought that was a pretty seismic change. We've got 3 great jobs in this state and 2 decent ones. And at FAU and FIU, people who keep trying to build their way to what Cristobal gets to be a part of. But Florida getting rid of its head coach as a standard setter in the middle of a season saying, we beat Mississippi State, but no, we need to climb to where, ridiculously, Missouri and Vanderbilt are, where we're a more serious competitor and threat to Alabama. Florida has fallen behind, knows it, and so guillotines somebody because the building was burning there too, and the stakes there in Gainesville, they've just told you what the standard is. It's higher than it is at most places. They'll pay for someone to go away. Middle of a season, get out of here.
Whether it be Penn State or Florida, it's safe to say both those schools. Right now, the highest commanding salary in the sport is Kirby Smart, which is at 13 and change. I expect us to go in the $15 million range, be it Penn State, be it Florida, be it both those schools.
Do you think if James Franklin wasn't fired, would Florida have fired Billy Napier this week?
That's an interesting question. I don't know, but I do think that the James Franklin decision has made other programs like FSU. They had a big come to Jesus meeting and they decided we'll stay the course. Their financial situation is more dire than Florida. Florida has got a war chest waiting for this day for several seasons. The leading contender at both these schools is Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame. There was some back channeling last year.
Seems like he loves it there.
He wants to go to the pros. So I think the as I understand it, what happens to Notre Dame's season kind of
happen to understand?
And
He said happens to Notre Dame.
yeah, what happened? What happens
like
to Notre
that.
Dame?
I want to
is
know what
important.
level of reporting you're giving us here.
I
when
mean, the
you say
leading
you
contender.
happen to understand.
It's like 1A, 1B, Marcus Freeman, Lane Kiffin. Wow. And whoever it is gonna get a bag. They're talking about serious bags, and there was a level of back channeling last year with Marcus Freeman and Florida gauging interest. Just like there's always been Lane Kiffin flirting with a return to the state of Florida. It's like players in the portal. You may have a coach. It's what's happening with Stephen Ross right now. You may have a coach in place, but you're making calls. So the dream ideal candidate is dropping a bag and taking Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame.
This is breaking news being delivered by Cowboy Mike Ryan. No one else is reporting that.
Cowboy, I don't know about Cowboy.
This is Cowboy Mike Ryan. He's reporting exclusively. That's a happens to know.
I'm not reporting exclusively.
The international media needs to pick this up. What do you mean you're not reporting exclusively?
There are people that are plugged into Florida that have, you check the blogs. They're like Lane Kiffin, Marcus Freeman, too.
Nah, I haven't heard anyone else. I'm giving it to you.
Okay, wow. I'll take it. But, I mean, the Florida pursuit of Marcus Freeman and Lane Kiffin is years long and is pretty understood.
Notre Dame does not look. Brian Kelly has been exposed at LSU. Notre Dame, everyone understands this, right? They don't think they're beneath Florida. They don't think that they lose their hot shot. They're about the holy touchdown Jesus, and you're about the pride of what this school makes you. Notre Dame coaches don't take demotions to go to the SEC.
You know about touchdown Jesus?
You saw it.
What about Brian Kelly and his family?
After a blank space on the calendar, Formula One is back in Azerbaijan despite its reputation for tight corners and narrow roads. F1 is putting a sprint race in Baku. On Saturday, Charles Leclerc is fearless in pole position as the sprint begins. But at the start, London boy George Russell delivers some karma to Max Verstappen, making him a move to push him wide. Max is red, but George says, "Don't blame me." Number 22, Yuki Tsunoda clips the wall and loses a tire after just 2 laps. At the restart, Sergio Perez has a lead with 5 laps left. It's time to go. Checo wins the sprint race, but Max and George have bad blood when the race ends. You guys see what I'm doing yet? Will there be vigilante shit on Sunday?
This
Max,
is amazing.
You need to calm down because it's lights out and away we go in Baku. Sparks fly, and Verstappen is driving like he's in a getaway car and pulls out into the lead. Long story short, Nick DeVries has a glitch and a safety car ensues. Perez is in the lead after a slew of pit stops, but he's not out of the woods yet. The one driver, Max Verstappen, has speed, but that's when Sergio Perez says, "Bye-bye, baby." As the race ends, Esteban Ocon goes into the pit, but the mastermind race organizers have let press onto the treacherous pit lane. This is why we can't have nice things. 7-time champion Lewis Hamilton finishes 6th. The last great American dynasty, Haas, finishes out of the points, but today was a fairy tale for Sergio Perez. Verstappen finishes in 2nd, which is better than revenge. 1-2 for Red Bull is nothing new. They don't have champagne problems on the podium, but the anti-hero Max Verstappen is only ahead in the Drivers' Championship by 6 points. Fernando Alonso and Taylor Swift rumors are swirling. Long live Formula One. Max Verstappen has won the Drivers' Championship, but we still have 4 races to go. In Austin, Daniel Ricciardo rides a horse named Horsey McHorseface into the paddock. Zach Brown accuses Christian Horner of cheating, and Fort Lauderdale's own Logan Sargent will join Williams in 2023. During quali, Carlos Sainz takes the fastest lap while his
teammate. This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Zaslow has just returned from South Bend. I want to get some of his reporting. He says he was overtaken a bit, was surprised by the number of young people who are fans of the show in South Bend.
Cool.
That he bust in first class, bust in 3 hours.
That was wild.
Yes, first class.
I was telling people about that all afternoon yesterday.
Everyone loved that story yesterday. I'm glad no one thought it was like a bit or it was fake. Like people were shocked by the story, and it's completely real.
Well, let's include Nick Wright on this conversation. The story is that Zaslow, who's gotten first-class amenities as he deserves as part of college football coverage at the highest levels of ESPN, is expecting to fly into South Bend first class. He gets there, and it's a connecting flight because Chicago's not that close to South Bend, and the second half of his first-class flight is a bus that is going 3 hours to South Bend, and he did not know that, and so he's looking around, where's my first-class seat, and he's on a bus.
Well, I'd love to feel badly for him, Dan, but I'm in a bad way. I'm in a bad way.
Well, here,
Sorry,
so Nick's feeling a bit
I didn't come on to hear about your stupid bus trip.
Yeah.
To be totally honest, I came on.
What happened what happened to Nick?
No, what happened to Nick? So thank you, Nick, for correcting this. Nick had a big bet he made on behalf of the shipping container, and he wasn't able to cash it. He's an honorable gambler, and
it's so much worse than that, Dano. It's really a lot worse. So here's the deal. It's important, I think, from a journalistic and public responsibility standpoint, that if I'm going to come on this wildly popular show, as to your point, that young, impressionable Notre Dame students are listening to, and talk about, swaggering big bets with you, all these things, that they see the other side of it too. Because I imagine folks think right now I'm happy as a clam. Chiefs are back where they should be, the favorites across the board. Mahomes is favored to win MVP. The now iconic play known as the tackle that turned the tide flipped the entire NFL season. So why am I bordering on insolvency? Just follow me on a journey, if you would, Dan. Because I do feel badly for the shipping container. Because I really wanted them to win that $5,000 I won from you.
Such a gangster move by you in what you believe in spiritually, to be able to just dump $5,000 cash here and there as you win big in public with big bets. Like, I was proud of you for trying to give them a roll of gangster money.
Yeah, well, you know what? We might have to, drop the stakes. Again, I'm going to try to get through this. So here's the full setting. Here's the full scenario. I am sitting on a futures ticket that the expiration of is today. That is a stone winner. That was purchased at like 28-1. That I have cashed that money in my mind. And it's a big enough winner that I am then giving myself the grace to take some bigger shots. Like, we're going to try to run this up. And so one of the shots was the poker game, right after I won the Lions bet with you. And that poker game was bigger than I can play in. I told you it was at a billionaire's penthouse. That was not a lie. I told you I thought I had an edge in the game. That was not a lie. But it was bordering on irresponsible to play. But I have this, this piece of equity in this futures ticket that even if I lose, will cover almost all of that night. And I did lose. And because of that, I wasn't able to give the shipping container $5,000.
But crushes you. Like, for people who think
it crushes me.
Oh my God!
And it crushes me even more when I knew it could have been Billy's goodbye present. I'm watching you cry, talk about Billy Gill. I'm getting emotional, and I almost, and thank God I didn't. I almost texted you after I saw that. Just give the whole thing to Billy. We'll be fine anyway.
He's fine. He got paid.
Yeah, you can go to hell.
Okay. All right, but wait, guys, and I'm going to try to get there, but I want to do this story justice. But again, I'm okay. And then this weekend, I do as I do often, not always, but often, because I'm a reverse hedger. I don't emotional hedge. I don't hedge bets. I actually just go max pleasure, max pain. So I made a perfect Chiefs weekend parlay, which that is the Chargers losing, check. The Chiefs winning, check. And what's the last piece of that to put them in first place in the AFC West?
Broncos losing.
The Broncos losing.
Oh my God.
Had I mentally spent that money, maybe. Was I aghast and agog at so many things down the stretch of that game?
You've got to be shitting me, Nick.
You were
agog?
agog?
I'm not shitting you. And here's the other piece of it that you need to understand. I take screenshots of the cash out options and send them to my gambling consortium because I'll never cash out. Never. Ever, under any circumstances, because it's not EV and I'm not going to do it. But I'm texting my buddies. I'm texting your friend Adam Lefko, my friend Danny Parkins. Look at these guys thinking I'm going to let them off the hook. But I lose. But again, it's okay. That was more what I could win than what I lost. Because I have this ticket that, again, is supposed to pay out.
Tony wants more information. Tony wants more information on this ticket that you can cash out.
Well, that's what I'm about to explain. That's what I'm about to explain, Dan. Because, listen, I know this is a DraftKings show, and I love DraftKings. I've done great stuff with them. I do stuff with Hard Rock. But there are certain types of wagers you can make that DraftKings and the traditional gambling outfits don't offer, which places like Kalshi and Polymarket have started to do, which is futures contracts. You can basically be like, hey, will Joe Buck say safety on Monday Night Football, and, whatever it is. So I dabbled in that about 9 months ago, and I hit a nice win on a few things to where that was a real amount of money. And there's like a sports media piece of it that it's not a very vibrant market, but like, for instance, I smashed the over on Pablo Torre Peabody Award mentions post him losing it because the marketplace thought, well, he won't keep mentioning this. He didn't win the award. So that was like over under 5.5 in 2025. That cashed by August. So I've got a real amount of money in that account. And I bet no on a bet that I will tell you what it is in just a moment. And no was trading it when I bet it at 7 cents a share. If you guys don't know how it works, a winning bet pays 100 cents, a losing bet pays 0. So it trades like a stock market. So they were saying basically it had a 7% chance of happening. And as of 2 days ago, that was at around 91%. And this was how I was going to pay off the poker debt. And that bet was prior to the start of the 2025-2026 NBA season, will Stephen A. Smith do another media tour about how LeBron bullied him? And he couldn't wait a day. And tour means more than one appearance. Can't just be said in passing. And the day before the start of the season, I got to watch this guy go on and say they didn't have the right camera angle. I gotta watch. I gotta see the pivot, and then all of a sudden 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, and realize my empire is crumbling because of one man's inability to take an L. And Dano, I'm in a bad way.
Yeah,
that's all.
So he suffers these things, Chris. If you think that Nick Wright is fooling around, he is looking for market inefficiencies unemotionally throughout sports. This is a clinical.
Made a Chiefs parlay.
But it's a clinical business to him. It's not because he believes just that the Chiefs are that great. He thinks that he's exploiting an easy advantage.
The Chiefs bet is an emotional one. That's not analytical. I'll be honest. Most of the other bets are pretty analytical. The Chiefs parlay wasn't. Again, guys.
No, the Chiefs will slaughter a team and then be kneeling victory formation with 4 minutes left in the game, and they'll pull Mahomes out in the third quarter because everyone agrees, even Pete Carroll. Yep, let's wrap this all up. They're a great deal better than we are. Yeah, you had all that coming, and I was loud wrong for 3 weeks and doubting that it would be back at all.
Yeah, but on the bright side of that, Dan, you're not broke. So, listen. We have to rebuild.
Okay, so
this is how it is.
All right, so you're going to chase it now because you're in.
Well, you can't not. I mean, you can't not, man. I mean, I mean, here's a question. I'm gonna text this to Chris Cody, and he won't even understand it. And Cody, don't put this on screen but I just want you to see it. And let me see if the time is even on there. Because what I'm texting Chris Cody is a picture from 1:30 in the morning of me playing a game called Deuce to 7 Drama Haw in a crypto poker casino.
Okay, I'm looking.
Yeah. I mean, that, by the way, I mean,
are you sending him an amount of money, a screenshot?
No, I'm sending him a screenshot of a winning hand. Listen, this is the life we have chosen. And I just felt it was important for me to apologize to the shipping container for not coming through for them. And then also important to let the audience know, don't ever consider a winning ticket until it is won. Even if all you need for it to be a winning ticket is the biggest name in sports media to hide his utter shame and embarrassment that he got, in his mind, I guess, punked on national TV 9 months ago for one more day.
Nick, just to put it in perspective, did you lose out on more or less than the cost of a human heart on the black market?
Well, I don't know what that cost. That seems...
Well, Tony told us it's $500,000.
$500K.
Oh, under. Did I, though? Yeah, definitely under. I mean, it's not... But...
You live in a dirtier world than Tony. The human heart is more expensive than Tony. Look. I think, Tony, you might think you're more gangster than Nick Wright. Nick Wright is traveling. Nick Wright is traveling through some regions where he could find out what a human heart costs, because that's how desperate the people who are gambling against him.
No, Dan. I lay my sword at the feet of Nick Wright. I lay my sword at the feet of Nick Wright in dirtier places than I've ever been, or I can even fathom of going.
It's not just dirtier places.
It's a dirty off.
It's not just dirtier places. It's that Nick Wright, in order to bet an amount of money that hurts, like these stakes, he is caring deeply. He wants to be able to win, so he can say, like Helmuth, I can roll off $5,000 and just give it to my buddies because I took these suckers over here. It's the whole spirit of who Nick is.
Yeah, it's all true. I can't tell this story on publicly. I can kind of tell it, but this watch, I won in a card game.
Really? That's a presidential day date, by the way. For those watching, day date, which means it's even more money.
Yeah, with the onyx face and the baguettes. Yeah, I won.
Are those factory or are those not factory? Are they aftermarket?
No. This is factory,
okay,
but
good.
I'd love a top 5 list of Nick's top 5
things he's won in a poker hand.
No, most valuable jewels, baubles, symbolic jewels.
This is number one. By a lot. And I'm glad I got to show it and tell that story, because I'm about another 10-day downswing away from having to, you know what they say about fancy watches?
What is it?
You're kind of costing yourself money by not getting one, because they only go up in value. And I'm about 10 days away from having to test that theory, Dan. Find out. Tony, I don't know. I mean, you clocked it right there. I mean, you can on or offline make me an offer. We can see.
It's more than I can offer you. I know what it's going for right now, and somebody would buy it for, not the money I have.
You saw him clock it? You saw him say $70,000, $75,000? How did he read it on your face, or did you say it?
Oh, well, no, just the way he snapped, knew exactly what watch it was. A man that can do that knows about what the going market rate is for it.
Yeah, that's about 70, 75. If you go to a dealer, they'll probably low cut you, tell you 50, but you don't want to do that.
Clock that watch.
No. Yeah. That I didn't even turn on phrase. How was your bus trip, Zaz?
I mean,
Zaslow, just be quiet for a second. The story that Nick Wright brings us.
Just ask Zaslow a question.
Just be quiet.
No, I'd rather do what Dan's doing. Dan's right, because he might have, you know, Dan's a genius for a lot of reasons. He might figure out the only way to make, you know, for me to feel a little bit better in this whole situation.
Well, let's do that. That's what I wish to do, and I thank you for revealing your vulnerability, and also because I think that they think that you casually lost $5,000 the other day when I'm guessing, I don't know if I have this right, but the stakes where Nick gambles with his heart, like where he actually cares about stuff, I'm guessing the fact that he couldn't call or make a video in the middle of the night that says, here's the $5,000 I won. That was a great shame to him, a bit of a disgrace because he thought he was going to leave.
It was a great shame and disgrace, and it also was only because I had lost a mini multiple of that. Like of course it was, especially because I'm supposed to be this great card player. I believe I actually am, and I'm losing to a bunch of finance dorks. Like, come on, man. Like so yeah, that was it was covered in shame. There is no question about it. And then the real question is, did I, as the game ended, say, hey, same time next month, right? And the answer to that is, of course, yes.
Well, so this is where we have
this
is where we have to figure out what the stakes need to be, because before we were going to do white Corvette. I don't know what happened with that, but now we've got to start putting some. If you're going to chase it, and we're going to. So basically, all right. So okay, all right. So
what if Nick? What if this show, and by that I mean Dan, puts you in the game, and we do a little 50-50?
We stake you.
Yeah, we stake you.
So I don't do. So here's the deal. That's actually so I got again, again. I hope the audience likes this. I don't know. I got invited. There's a stream, a poker stream out in LA called Hustler that they play varying size games. And anywhere from like a $5,000 buy-in game to they have a game where everyone at the table sits with over $1 million, like insane wealth, right? I got invited to a game that basically you would have to have $250,000 to play and to feel comfortable. And I had folks, once they saw who the lineup was, offer that exact thing, to buy pieces of my action, to stake me. So I put up 50, they put up 200, and then the split goes 80-20 their way. I don't like doing that because I don't feel like I play cards. If I feel accountable to someone else, I don't think I play my best. I feel like I don't make a move that I think is a smart move, because if I'm wrong and it looks bad, will the person think I dusted off their money? So I try not. I really only play with my own money. And I really wish that wasn't the case last week. I wish it was all Dan's money. That'd have been sick. Oh, not my problem anymore. This guy's trying to bet white Corvettes for a lark. I don't know. I mean, I guess Dan's been rich for a long time.
Yeah, he's serious about this. Let's figure out how to do this. I want to continue to raise the stakes. I will no longer bet against Kansas City, though. That would seem to be foolhardy at this point.
Well, I mean, there is that, and that is, and listen, I mean, there is some solace. There's double solace. One is for my child's heart of my hometown team, the only sports team I've ever truly lived and died with, being back to greatness. That makes me feel good and pure and awesome. There is also the spiteful piece of me that wants there to be some form of accountability, and I'm not talking about you, Dan, per se, but you might be lumped in with this, for all the alleged experts across every form of media that stared at a team that had been to 7 straight conference championship games, 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls, 3 straight and won 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls, and because they started 0-2, they were like, well, that's over. Clearly they're broken. People I really respect. Stephen Ruiz of The Ringer writes an article, The Slow, Boring Demise of the Decay of the Chiefs Dynasty. Bill Barnwell, 3 weeks ago, who I think is the single smartest person covering football, did hey, let's look at these trades from years ago and regrade them, and graded the Tyreek Hill Chiefs trade a win for Miami and a loss for the Chiefs. The Chiefs have been to every Super Bowl since then. The Dolphins are imploding. And then the pièce de résistance, the king of the we actually get football mountain, Pro Football Focus, at Sunday, Dan, I don't know if you know this, I swear this is true. Sunday gave Geno Smith a higher passing grade for that game than Patrick Mahomes. And we're supposed to act like that's credible.
That can't be.
That happened.
That can't.
That happened.
You're lying to me. That did not
I
happen.
swear to God,
you are
go
wrong.
to Pro
You
Football
are lying
Focus
to me. That
on
is incorrect.
Sunday.
You are lying
they
to the
gave
people.
Geno Smith
You are
a
full of it.
67.2 passing grade,
No.
and they gave Patrick Mahomes a 62.2 passing grade. That is a fact. Look it up. To which I would say a logical company would say, boys, we have to shut it all down and pause. Go click on passing grade, scroll down. Just for week 7.
For 2 quarters.
For week 7, is that on week 7?
You're lying. You are a liar.
I swear to God,
they
it's true.
took Mahomes
Video
out.
just said, "Give me a second."
They took Mahomes out in the third quarter. They were in victory formation with Minshew with 4 minutes left in the game.
Sam Darnold's pretty good.
And the smartest people covering football allegedly said, well, when you actually look at the tape, Geno Smith played slightly better. That's true. So at some point, all of football commentary is that stupid IQ meme where the total, like morons and the geniuses, and by geniuses I mean me, have the exact same take, which is, I don't know, the team with Mahomes and Reed that always wins will probably win. And then the very middle is the people who think they're smart. They're like, well, when you look at the DVOA, the Ravens have actually been better, and it's the Lions era. And Dan, I'm sorry, in this instance, you're the guy in the middle. I gotta go. I love you guys.
All right. See you later. Thank you, Nick.
I feel a little better after that.
Yeah.
I feel a little better.
Chiefs Colts in a month. If you guys want to make a
Wow,
bet.
that's a big one.
I don't know if he's back tomorrow or not, but we'll figure out what the stakes
He's not.
of this
Can I ask
need
him
to
one
be.
question before he goes real quick? You gave us the vine at the start of
I think
this.
he's gone.
Oh, damn it. I mean, he was going to share Stephen A. Smith opinions because Stephen A. had a day yesterday.
Yeah, well, I suppose that we should have this because, man, oh man, there are a lot of people mad at him, and the black community is feeling he's running off toward where Whitlock is without realizing it, and so some shit is happening.
Wait, Roy, can you speak for the black community and not Dan?
Yeah.
Dan's right.
You're good, Dan.
There you go. You're good.
I mean, well, for the last look, Stephen A. Smith has parlayed a really amazing career from being fired at ESPN to getting all the power at ESPN, and then negotiating a really groundbreaking deal where at ESPN they only pay him millions and millions to do First Take, and now he's going to do the same thing in politics with his own radio show and his own empire. And the political depths, and we're in a divisive time right now, and obviously we're in a divisive time right now. If you have the depth and stomach for politics, it can't just be fame as the currency, and you're going to be seen as well. You're going to get to the other parts of his day, but in betraying the black community in some spaces where you're kowtowing to Donald Trump because he's in power in a way that can't be abided in the modern age. No matter how central you are, like this has to be fought. What is presently happening, and you can't turn on your own people publicly, while feeding your political ambitions.
I was talking about his LeBron takes, and the Kyrie one too.
He was right about that one.
So this article,
I don't know why we're towing cows.
This article that you've handed me here that writes about a Hollywood ending, the dreams and drama of the LeBron Lakers.
Oh, some good stuff in there, Dan.
I had forgotten Russell Westbrook was a Laker with LeBron James. I had put that out of my mind.
Makes sense now. You saw that video the other day where Russell Westbrook wouldn't sign the autograph for the kid holding a Westbrook Laker jersey.
All right, so I think, look, people can call Russell Westbrook a lot of things. I don't think fake is one of them. Russell Westbrook gives off he's real.
I think Westbrook looks good in this whole situation.
He does. And he's playing to a long-standing theory, which is as real as Russell Westbrook appears, LeBron, be it his revisionist history, his constant capping, as Jalen Ramsey called out.
Westbrook is saying all the things I think that a lot of players are thinking.
LeBron is perceived as a phony.
You ain't reading these books.
Well, that's part of it. There's the Ringer
You can't
put
give
out,
me a single line from The Godfather, your favorite movie.
Ringer
You can't give me Fredo. I knew it was you.
If you like the juicy NBA locker room gossip stuff, and if you like stories about LeBron being a phony, The Ringer just gave you a catnip with this incredible story that apparently all came to a head revolving around this speaker series that the Lakers had put together. They had Kendrick Lamar show up, and they had Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson show up. And 6 months after the Academy Awards controversial slap between Will Smith and Chris Rock, they brought in Will Smith to speak to the team. And Dan, I have done you the service to highlight some of these incredible exchanges. The writer did such a great job with this article in The Ringer that I think we should let him paint the picture here. So can you please turn to the part where they get to the this genius series that Rob Pelinka had organized for the Lakers leadership, their players, as sort of like a galvanizing moment for the team as they got off to a slow start that season.
Okay, you're going to have to help me, Mike, because you guys handed this to me.
I did help you. I highlighted it.
Okay, but
I'll turn to that page, Dan. Yeah. I
thought
it was helping you by giving you a bridge.
The impetus, I don't know where we are in the reading materials, but the impetus appeared to be recent rumors involving Kyrie Irving. LeBron's former co-star was entering the final season of his contract with the Nets, a $36.9 million player option.
You're hitting the right spot. Keep turning the pages and reading only the highlighted portions.
With multiple outlets reporting that the Lakers were one of Irving's preferred destinations and that LeBron wanted a reunion. Negotiations between the Lakers and the Nets went nowhere, and the Nets had no desire to take Westbrook back. For the Lakers to acquire Irving would have been by dealing Westbrook. Westbrook knew this, and he knew that LeBron did as well, meaning that no matter what LeBron said in public, the reality was clear. He was pushing for the Lakers to ship Westbrook out.
That's right. I remember that now. Now all of a sudden our minds are back at this point in time. Please keep reading.
Westbrook knew LeBron's reputation. He'd seen all the examples of LeBron seemingly misrepresenting himself. There was the time LeBron claimed that The Godfather was his favorite movie, but then he failed to recall a single line when asked during a press conference to name one. There was the time he carried the autobiography of Malcolm X into a media session, but stumbled when asked to name his biggest takeaway.
Look what they did to my boy. They massacred my boy.
Pelinka informed the players a special guest would be coming through. He'd created a program called the Genius Series, as you mentioned, and Will Smith arrived right after, months removed from the Chris Rock slap. When Pelinka and Ham left to fetch him, LeBron, seated in a middle row, stood up. "Y'all got this," he said. He stormed out a back door. "Shit, man," Davis said. He stood and followed LeBron out. Stunned, the rest of the players sat there looking at each other, unsure what to do. Westbrook rose next. "So are we all leaving?" he asked. "Nah, Russ," said Patrick Beverley, a brash veteran point guard the Lakers had acquired. "We got to stay."
Leave the gun. Grab the cannoli.
"Them two guys can do whatever the fuck they want," Beverley said. "They won a championship." Westbrook was thinking, as a 9-time All-Star and former MVP and future Hall of Famer, why would there be a difference between him and them? Pelinka came back in. "Are we ready?" he asked. "We're not ready," Beverley said. "We need 5 minutes."
Look at Bratz, he sleeps with the fishes.
Pelinka left. Minutes later, "I'm sorry, Zaz, I wasn't quite ready to have you do Godfather while Mike Ryan ordered me to read my own show."
Yeah, good stuff coming. Good stuff coming.
Ham re-entered and sat silently at the front of the room as Westbrook and Beverley continued arguing.
That's good leadership right there.
He then stood up and exited through the same door LeBron and Davis had used. Soon after, he returned with both stars. Next, Ham went to get Pelinka and Smith. When they all returned, Smith was greeted with smiles and daps. He opened the floor for questions. LeBron was first. He had a question, he said. Smith answered. Then LeBron had another question, and another after that, and another after that, and another after that. On and on he went, stretching what was supposed to be a 30-minute session into nearly an hour. The same guy who was trying to leave is now quoting back movie lines and going through the guy's whole life story, one attendee recalled thinking. Seating it in the third row, picking at a bowl of fruit, Westbrook watched in disbelief, shaking his head and rolling his eyes every time LeBron spoke. I hate that fake shit, Westbrook said to a teammate afterward as the Lakers gathered for a team photo. I just can't do it. The next afternoon, the Lakers posted the picture on social media. There, standing a few feet to Smith's right, was Westbrook, his face twisted in a team picture into a scowl.
Quoting movie lines to Will Smith after leaving the meeting. Incredible. All while Will Smith just hanging out in the offices as the Lakers clear this thing up.
Come to me on the day of my daughter's
Video
wedding.
team, can you put that picture back up for me really quick? Because there's somebody really important standing to LeBron's right.
Asking me for a favor.
That's Cole Swider. Swider, what?
I thought that was Rob Lowe, honestly. Every time I see Pelinka, I think the same thing. I can't help but see that it's a great Hollywood actor that's leading the bogus Lakers.
Everyone's so happy except Westbrook.
It's the most human thing in the world, though, for Russell Westbrook to not feel like LeBron's much of a bigger star than him, and that Russell Westbrook at the end of his career wouldn't like being powerless in a room where LeBron can trade him.
I think it's also like Anthony Davis getting up and following him. Like,
Right,
all
Anthony
okay.
Davis. I mean, what a follower. I mean, LeBron gets, all right, I got to get up too now. Dork.
Roy did the same thing the first time we had Tim Kirkchin in studio. Roy was just so overly eager to talk to Tim Kirkchin. I'm like, this is fake, Roy.
Wow, you turned a 30-minute meeting into a 60-minute meeting?
like,
Who are you,
This
Jason?
is All-Star Weekend, Roy. You remember that.
I think Roy was genuinely excited to meet and talk to Tim Kirkchin.
Nah, he stole all the questions. He did a Q&A. Roy got all the questions.
Roy hogged the Tim
still
Kirkchin
think about
time.
this.
I had gotten up early and said, y'all got this?
Oh, what's your favorite ballpark? 7 questions in. Let me get a question next time, Roy.
Roy, what do you remember? How would you defend yourself on this front? Did you hog all the Tim Kirkchin questions?
I can't defend myself.
Wow.
Indefensible.
There's a picture out there of me, Roy, Billy, and Kirkchin together. That was the day.
I got up. Tony followed me.
So y'all got this, right?
Bimmel was like, I'll get him.
How human is all of that? LeBron didn't want to stay an extra hour at the facility to be with Will Smith. And then, I mean, the intimacy of that is cutting on both counts because I think most people, LeBron has spent 8 years with the Lakers. It's longer than any other team he's been with. Westbrook toiled in his shadows while winning an MVP and being a great player. And at the end, LeBron got 8 years in L.A., and Westbrook bounces around on the fringes of the league when that was an MVP. And I get how the human dynamics of all of that would make Westbrook feel like LeBron had gone full Hollywood.
A scowling, angry, as if there's any other kind, Russell Westbrook picking at a bowl of fruit because he is now in a meeting that has gone into 60 minutes when it was supposed to be a short thing, while LeBron is rows in front of him after threatening to leave, saying, welcome to Earth.
I'm Mo Green. I made my bones when you were going out with cheerleaders.
That's a great point in the movie.
How will this stick to LeBron on
Just adds to the lore.
Hollywood phoniness at the end?
He needs to lean in. I think LeBron's biggest issue, even dating back to wanting to wear the black hat because everybody hated him, was he obviously cares a lot what people think. You're at the age now. You're north of 40. Aren't we supposed to let some of that stuff go? I'm not saying stop being phony. I'm saying embrace your phoniness. Make it part of your character. Like, work with it. Be someone that laughs at the joke, too.
There's this photo.
Roy, I think this is
That's
advice.
the day.
This is advice for you that Mike is giving. Wisdoms from the back row. Be the one who laughs at the joke as well. I am told that you hogged all of the Tim Kirkchin time. Desperate Billy still resents it to this day. Might have cited as one of the reasons that he left. Look at Chris Cody right in the middle there.
Tony and Mike not pictured.
And Lorenzo can talk, boy.
Lorenzo, I didn't let talk.
Tony and Mike went out out of the side door like LeBron and
We worked at the Cleveland. I went for happy hour. Got one of those umbrella drinks.
Chris,
Just
when
wanted
did
to
you-
ask one question.
When did you switch from the backwards hat to the forwards hat?
Good question.
When you became EP.
Yeah, that day.
that is really what you did. That's
Hat goes this
That-
way
that-
now. We need that hat to go this direction.
Guess it's time to grow up.
Colin Cowherd would be proud.
Yeah.
That's the last time I remember the Dolphins feeling this way. Was Cameron or we need the thumbs to go in this direction. Well, that'll fix it, Coach.
This is your version of corporate Chris.
That is how Chris rose into the position. He took his backwards cap and put it forward. Zaslow's on the climb. Zaslow's vying for the same position.
He is a rising star.
He just came back from South Bend, and all he came back with, you will not believe how many people listen to your show in South Bend.
It's true. A lot of people passing by the Airstream studio just yelling Thai food.
It's your signature phrase. Be careful what you say. There's Corporate Chris. That's how he rose up the ranks here when he followed Corporate Mike into the abyss. And for 6 straight months, he decided he was going to be someone who wore his cap in this direction.
Best I ever looked. Right there. I use that photo often.
I miss Christmas.
What do you mean often?
If anyone needs like a headshot or something, hey, we need a photo for something. I'm
No
like, here
way.
it is. There it is.
The LeBron thing, soap opera welcomes in the NBA tonight with a doubleheader where the same stars are the stars that they have always been, and they've got the stage themselves at a crowded time because I really am ashamed. Again, for the second straight day, I am publicly ashamed that I am taking this long to talk about the baseball because it is flat amazing. And Mike Ryan bait and switched me by text last night. He's like, best 2 words in sports tonight. And I'm like, they better not pitch to Vlad. They better not pitch to Vlad. And he's like, Baker Mayfield. The best 2 words
Walked
in
right
sports.
into that one.
I did. I felt ashamed of myself. I
responded, yes, I tricked you.
Best 2 words in sports, and I immediately want to talk to Ron. My analysis is they better not pitch.
He's supposed to be a Mariners fan.
I was devastated. Baker kept missing high all night.
Is comedy. You're going.
That's Florida, bro.
You're going maximum Florida, man.
That's Florida.
When did you decide to start doing that? When was it encouraged? When did that become your signature? The idea that you're up there just throwing your body at the people here in a tight pair of jeans, shirtless.
I was. The jeans have gotten tighter the fat I've gotten. They weren't always tight. My daughter said Baby Walrus needs to move out of skinny jeans. I started doing it just to cheer myself up because you get on the road and do like a Thursday night and you'd be like, I got a whole weekend ahead of me. This is gonna be a long weekend. I'm missing my family. It's not sold out. So I would rip my shirt off and kill a beer to make myself giggle because I thought it was silly and to remind myself this should be fun. And then one night I was in Columbus, Ohio. I ripped my shirt off and killed a beer. And then something happened in the room and I forgot to put it back on. And one of the comics I respected was in the back and he was like, bro, you just did a whole hour with your shirt off.
And how does this work with comfort with your body? Because not everyone can do that. You're the first to be doing that. Not everyone is comfortable enough with their size to be in front of thousands of people shirtless like that because it is funny.
It's interesting because I have this reverse body dysmorphia. So like I heard a story, secret time. Obviously I'll tell you, but secret time. I heard a story that Chris Pratt was a fat kid growing up and that someone told me like he'll always be fat in his head. No matter how great of shape he is, he'll always think of himself as a fat kid. I was in shape as a kid, and so I do not see myself fat at all. As a matter of fact, I think in Razzle Dazzle, I look low-key jacked. I think I look better than I've ever looked. My shoulders, dude, look at my shoulders.
You are jacked. Oh, yeah. You got some cuts right there. You see it there?
I mean, I'm feeling good. I feel great about my body.
The new Netflix stand-up special, Razzle Dazzle.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Bert, stop making those
Never show your
faces.
belly button.
Yes.
Do that thing where you're, let's increase your female viewers.
Make your boobs move.
This is a body you can get.
Razzle Dazzle is the stand-up special. How old would you have to be? What is the age if I came up to you and said, Bert, you're not going to believe this, but the new movie, Machine, it's in theaters in May, and Razzle Dazzle, a Netflix special, is happening. At what point in your career, at what age would you have said, yeah, that's a possible dream?
Oh, 50? Where I am. I didn't think any of that was going to happen. Listen, I got to be dead honest with you. I shot Razzle Dazzle in November, and I'm used to the Netflix specials, but with the Machine movie, that was sitting on a shelf. They weren't doing anything with it, and they weren't going to release it. And it wasn't until I leaked it on Rogan that it got life. And so ever since it's got life, now it's got real life, and so I didn't think the movie was ever going to come out.
Dan, Bert's got me feeling confident. You know what? I'm going to join you, Bert, taking the shirt off.
Wow.
I love it. I love it.
Well, I'm going to have to do it, too.
I, too, was ripped when I was younger, Bert.
I have to do it.
Let's all be. Come on, bros.
Oh, man.
I don't really want to do
Round the horn.
Stu, you're looking good. The Mano Lantern.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, my
Dan's
God.
doing it too.
Dano! Years. Take the top off.
Oh, jeez.
All right. You are allowing us to be more comfortable with our physical appearances.
I have to take off my nipple stickers.
He's a pioneer and an icon.
Oh, look at Dano.
Mr. Nipple.
Perfectly
Do this
Sorry,
to
I didn't realize like a
Cold in
routine.
here.
Yeah,
It's
it
reverse
is
body
cold
dysmorphia.
in here.
It's a reverse
It's a
body
really
dysmorphia
weird
thing.
time for Jessica to come back
Yeah, I
into
was
the
like,
room.
Jessica,
Perfectly
do not walk in here.
Hey, Jess.
You like it, Bert?
Get out.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Why
So
are you massaging?
Andrew Luck making an appearance there. Bert, I do want to know when you were partying, the top partier at the #1 party school in the country. What did that look like?
You're looking at
Marijuana in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Around 4. Simpsons, fried chicken, and a lot of cocktails up until about 2 a.m. Then back to my place. Goat Campbell around 3 a.m. Joint set on the Seminole Head.
I love you.
And not a lot of sex, just dudes.
The best 6.5 years of your life, Bert.
How much public nudity was there?
An aggressive amount. This is back before that was considered assault.
You can't do that. You shouldn't be. Publicly nude is probably a bad idea, but this was a different time.
I'm feeling assaulted right now in this room.
I took a dump on a pizza box to win an election. Like I was totally naked. Like this is back when that was called provoking.
That is a great sentence. I took a dump on a pizza box to win an election.
By a landslide. I won by a landslide.
I mean, that was Trump's platform.
What can you tell me about being moved performing in front of so many people? Because the crowds now where you gather are enormous. They surprise me even as funny as you are.
I'm telling you, I had a real moment in Boston. I had a real moment in Tampa at Amalie, but I had a real moment in Boston when I walked in, and there's this old guy that's been working at the Garden forever, and I walk into my underwear, and he goes, "You sold it to the ceiling, kid. You sold it to the ceiling." And then I got a standing ovation, and I started crying. I was like, boom! It caught me off guard. Same thing happened in Tampa. Same thing happened in Orlando. I never expected any of this, man. At 44, I was fired from Travel Channel. My wife wanted to get a vasectomy. We were tearing down our house to rebuild it. I was nowhere. I got kicked off Funny or Die tour. I was making $2,000 a week on Funny or Die. Tom was making $20,000 a night, and I was like, that's my life. I got to accept it.
Talking Sunset Gears with comedian Rob Delaney.
I really am thrilled to be doing this, Rob, because I admire your work a great deal, and it's rare that I find somebody from afar that I've been wanting to talk to because their story seems somehow something even more admirable to me. Now, you might not view it this way. I don't know how much nobility you think there is in your story, but in watching the art that you've made and watching the life that you've chosen, it's sort of been a pleasure to watch your work grow and to see, the things that you are choosing late in life to do artistically.
Well, that's very kind of you to say. Thank you, and thank you for acknowledging that I am late in my life. There's a refreshing honesty to that. I am 45, so I'm well more than halfway.
45 is
there.
late in life.
I mean, I do think about it though sometimes. Though, like I'm definitely more than halfway done, and that's funny. Isn't that funny?
How does it feel to be told that you're late in life by someone who is considerably older than you?
Who's a great deal older than me? It's strange. I wonder, does he know things about, does he have access to my medical file? Has he seen things that I haven't seen?
I just feel like I feel through your art like you've lived more than I have. It's really what I'm doing there in the having of 4 kids, in the choosing work-life balance, in learning life's lesson. I just think that I was atrophied as a as a young person.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the things that that I've experienced that maybe most people haven't are, you know, I did get sober 20 years ago after going to jail after a car accident that I was responsible for, and I've stayed sober, so that's been pretty cool. I've had the unbelievable good fortune to make a living in comedy, and of course I didn't for a long time before I did, so that was challenging. And then, but the biggest thing would be that my wife and I, one of our sons got cancer and passed away a few years ago. So those are the big things that I've been through that I think, you know, are place me in sort of a strange.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show.
Lucy's mine! Hey, Dan, it's your favorite Rodine, Lucy's dad. We're here in Iowa. Go Hawks. Your favorite employee, Rose, is here, and we're going to do a handshake.
Yeah, we're going to do a handshake. Look at this, Dan. 1, 2, 3. Ah! There you go, because we're Hawks.
Go Hawks. We are.
Fight for Iowa.
My name is Steve, like the Minecraft guy. We're at Iowa, Kinnick Stadium, iconic.
How would you describe the Iowa game day experience?
I would say electric.
You cannot get any better than this. It's got to be the next thing to heaven, right?
Honestly, not so bad. We came out expecting corn, and it looks pretty good from our perspective. They've just been giving us we don't deserve, you know? We're just from Penn State doing our best.
The tailgating's good, and the drinking is good.
Last time I came here it was tense, right? Because we were both in the top 10. But now it's great. Now it's great.
What do we all have to lose?
You know, being an Iowa fan, though, it's all about the unexpected. And not too long ago, we were just rushing the field after we beat Penn State. So
that was like 5 years ago. That was actually a really long time ago.
Oh, it's awesome. I love coming down here. I come down here a couple times a year, and I really love it. It's like a family.
it was actually my first Iowa game. I'm a Nebraska fan living
Okay.
in Iowa.
Okay. Enough of that. We saw the game last night. You probably don't want to speak on camera.
Have you seen the corn machine over there? Pan. Wow. That is what America is built on. America needs farmers.
Do you ever wish Iowa could score more points?
Obviously, but you know, you're just kind of used to it. You can't have high expectations. It kind of just feels like a tradition to not score that many points.
How did you get your tickets for the game today?
Oh, the Game Time app.
Did you use a code?
Code Lucy at checkout.
Hell yeah, $20 off your first order, term supply. This hat is so sweaty. I love that. So we are here at the best tailgate in Iowa City. It's called Hawks to Go. What makes, not hot to go like Chapel Roan, that's different. They did this before Chapel Roan. But what makes this tailgate so special is they sell shots. They do a special one for the opposing team, which this week is Penn State, and then the home team, they'll sell you the shots. You take it on a fun little shot ski. You get the fun tailgating experience, and then all that money goes back to the University of Iowa Children's Hospital.
Everything we do here is about the kids. 37 years ago, my brother's son, my nephew, had a no soft spot.
He was saved by the University of Iowa hospitals. My brother and I drink a lot, and we looked at each other. I think God was involved, and we let's do shots for the kids. I you not.
They've been doing this for over a decade now. They have donated over $400,000 to the Stead Family Children's Hospital, which, what is better than getting drunk, watching football, and helping the kids? Winning football is up there, but it's not as good as that. It's right under it. This is orange juice.
Are you ready for this? 'Cause I am.
Me too.
Go Lucy!
I'm wearing blue on purpose. Unfortunately, I'm a Penn State fan. We're going to see what happens. We're down our head coach. We're down our starting quarterback. All we want is a great game.
What was your immediate reaction when you fired James Franklin?
8 years too late. Should have been fired when he ran Trace McSorley on 4th and 5 at Ohio State. Dumbass.
It's about goddamn time.
Them firing their head coach only gives us a better chance to win, so I think it's going to be a good game.
Penn State should stay coachless and just give up on their football program.
Call it and invest all the money into wrestling.
They should defund their wrestling program also. They can invest all their NIL money into Iowa sports, what they should do.
So Penn State should just give all their money to Iowa just because it's nice.
Yes.
Your favorite person on the Le Batard Show.
Oh, Lucy Rodine, are you kidding me?
I'm required to say it, but it is Lucy. I am going to miss Billy Gills, so.
We love you, Billy.
Probably Lucy's dad.
As a Nebraska fan, do you look at Penn State firing James Franklin and be like, oh no, you can't do that. We've been there before.
We've been through a lot of coaches, obviously, but I don't think it's going to be a big deal.
Do you think Matt Rule is going to take the Penn State job?
I don't even know if I want him.
Yo, give me Joe Brady. We want young, hot, sex appeal.
I don't know, Bill Belichick, he might be the move.
Yeah.
I heard he's looking for a job.
I guess the guy at Iowa State's pretty good.
Oh yeah, Matt Campbell. We'd be happy if you took him. How would you describe the last 3 weeks of Penn State football?
Basically like the last 30 years of Penn State football.
Train wreck, disaster, Armageddon, Hiroshima.
Unnatural disaster is the right way to put it.
I know I'm a Nebraska fan, but I'm in Iowa today, so go Hawks.
And I was so rude to him this whole time, too. I was not nice at all.
It's going to be a great game. Signing off on the Dan Le Batard Show.
Go Hawks!
October 18th, 2025 will go down in history for the Le Batard Show. This is the first time in the so many times that I have made us go to Iowa football games that we have won. This has never happened before for us. Rose has never heard the Hawkeye victory polka until today. Dan, this is the best. This is why we do it. For these beautiful moments where you beat a terrible Penn State team very close. And you keep it feisty, but it's for the entertainment and the joy of a victory. I love this place so much. I hope you guys got to see why I love it today. Go Hawks, Penn State. Maybe you'll hire somebody cool, you know? Maybe. Like Matt Rule. So cool. Only lost by 30 to Minnesota. Whatever, go Hawks.
It is the return of Iowa. Some things are a bit upside down in college football. Vanderbilt is 6-1 for the first time since 1950. They defeated 2 top 10 teams in the past 12 months. Georgia Tech is 7-0 for the first time since 1966. Indiana's got the highest ranking it's ever had, and Lucy is grifting the entire Meadowlark media by going back and forth to Iowa every couple of weeks, and is a bigger star in Iowa than she's ever been. I can't even imagine how much fun it is to tailgate with Iowa now that she returns home again and again, and this time to great victory and glory. This was the best weekend you've had in a while, correct?
We had so much fun. This is always one of our favorite places to go to, and I know that it's selfish that we go, but I always think the content is pretty good, and we actually got some bonus content out of this weekend, Every week that we are on the road, Rose is begging people to let them throw the football with her. And usually the answer is no. But we got a yes this weekend, and we have footage from that if you all want to see it.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Rose, does Rose have
Throws
a big
the
arm?
ball. And did she hit a baby?
Oh, my God. She threw
She
it
did
at
hit a
baby's
baby.
heart. Rose, oh, for the love of God.
Imagine someone hits your baby with a football and you turn back and you see Rose's getup. You're like, is she wearing a helmet because she has her headphones forward? What?
You never let her throw that football because she's got bad judgment, correct? No one wants to throw the football with her because she can't be trusted to throw it correctly.
Well, usually it's like 12-year-old boys who are throwing the football, and then Rose comes up, she's like, can I throw it? And they're very overwhelmed by her. But this time they said yes, and we were screaming. We were like, Rose, there is a baby there. Please do not hit this baby.
Lucy, what I don't understand, and I don't know why I would make you the governor of her, but the general radius of distance we're talking about there is only one place there where a football cannot be thrown. It was the one baby cart within a 10-mile radius of where she could have thrown the football.
Baby cart, like a farm machine. Well, one more time, can we see this? Because, Lucy, I would like to ask you a question here. I can't make out who the intended receiver is.
It's a bad
No,
route.
we have no clue. I don't think she was throwing it to anybody. Like, I really don't know who it was. If we turn the audio up on that, you can hear people yelling, don't hit the baby. Please don't hit the baby. And then she immediately hit the baby.
So she ignored it.
Don't hit the baby.
Oh, for the love of God. Lucy,
And then,
Lucy, I cannot be sending you in public with these people who do these things. Like, you can't throw a football at a stroller. Put it on the poll at Le Batard Show. Can you throw a football at a stroller?
Or baby cart.
Baby cart.
And what's crazy is, like, she didn't even apologize. She just, like, ran away.
She ran away. Looking all sorts of crazy.
Pitada. I mean,
that was a rambunctious group over at Iowa. It's not every weekend that you go over there and vibes are that good when they're playing Penn State.
It's like this game was so weird because like Iowa fans still view it as a really big game because it's like a really talented Penn State team, and Iowa has a quarterback that runs. That's never ever happened before, so these people were losing their mind. Also, Iowa to end the second half had like the dumbest special teams play I've ever seen, where they were going for like a 70-yard field goal. It got blocked, and Penn State scored based off of that. It was devastating, and Kirk Ferentz cried in his press conference about it. Like, he literally shed tears. He was crying.
I'll indulge you with one more Iowa question. They are finding their form. They have an upcoming date with Oregon. I like what I see from Iowa. This offense is certainly over the last few years the one that you can trust the most. They're getting better as the year goes on.
Rose didn't look crazy at all.
No, she was totally normal. Everything was cool. Yeah, this is the best like Iowa has looked offensively in 5 years or so. It's been a really, really long time. Mark Gronowski, like, I know he only had, I think, like 60 passing yards on the night, but he was running really well. Iowa's obviously the defense is good, special teams is great. They're sort of figuring out their identity right now. Mark really struggled to start off the season, but it seems like they're figuring stuff out. Kinnick is a very difficult place to play if you're a top 5 team. Like, that's kind of a thing that has sort of fallen away the last few years, but it used to be like a given. If you were a top 5 team and you went into Iowa, you were going to lose. So, like, I would not be surprised to see if they beat Oregon. Playoff hopes aren't dead, but I also am not buying into that. I'm not saying Iowa's going to the playoff.
I want to cover a couple of different things here happening with Billy Napier and Mike Norvell in the market, because Norvell started 12-16 at Florida State. Then they won 19 straight, right? And you can almost do whatever you want if you're going to win 19 straight. But then the snub happens, the quarterback gets hurt the snub happens because the quarterback gets hurt, and now they're 5-15 cents, and it would cost $100 million to get him out. So where are you on all these guys? Billy Napier, Luke Fickell, Hugh Freeze, and Norvell, who doesn't appear to be fired because Florida State can't afford to eat the money.
There was a great little news bit. I think it was War Chant that put it out there that said Norvell announced to his team that he was indeed staying for the rest of the season, and it was met with deafening silence.
That is so funny. So with Billy Napier, obviously this was a decision that we all knew was going to happen. It was just sort of the timeline of when. I think it's a direct result of James Franklin because they fired him after a win over Mississippi State, a good Mississippi State team. It just sort of felt like, okay, Florida probably assumed that after this season that would be the top job in the market. And now I don't necessarily know if that's the case. I kind of think Penn State is a better job. And so to go and see, all right, now we're going to have to compete with Penn State for the guys we want, or maybe we want James Franklin, who really knows. I felt like that was sort of the catalyst of why Billy Napier was fired this week rather than, a few weeks from now when the season was over. Also, maybe they were like, we really don't want him to give him a chance to do what he did last year and win a couple games, and now we're stuck with him.
Well, Mike, why? Forgive me for a second. Why are you making faces at Penn State being a good job?
I don't think so, just because of what I understand. It was kind of diluted by the success that James Franklin had over there, but there's a lot of Joe Pa is innocent people over in Penn State. Like their fan base is pretty crazy. The standards seem to be in arrested development. And, the things that surround Happy Valley are tricky, to say the least.
I would agree with that, but also I'm like, okay, well, your fan base in Florida all lives in Florida, so they're also crazy, just in a different way, perhaps even a scarier way. Who really knows? I just think resources wise, Penn State has a bunch that they can work with, and I do think Florida does as well. But Penn State, you probably feel a little bit more comfortable about job security, even though you know that James Franklin was fired after 3 bad weeks. He was there for 10 plus years before that, and it feels like I don't necessarily know if I agree with this, but I think people would think that the Big Ten's probably easier to compete in.
So if you're Marcus Freeman, let's say, you look at both destinations, because both of these schools are interested in Marcus Freeman. What do you decide? Do you go to a better talent base in Florida, or do you stay in that general region of the country?
Are you now reporting this exclusively?
I'm not reporting it exclusively. There's a lot of people that are plugged in that know this and they share information. I'm not gonna, but I am revealing it to you for the first time. So
it's a new time. When you tell me when you tell me the successful Notre Dame coach can be bought by Florida, we're in a new time in how we're going to be doing these things.
Marcus Freeman was in the college football playoff, and it was known that he was interested in going to the pros. There were programs like Florida who back-channeled and gauged interest. That's why his name keeps popping up in these things.
I kind of think this one's a personal preference, weird enough. Marcus Freeman, I could see him. I don't think he leaves Notre Dame, and I'm not just saying that because Jess is one of my closest friends. I really don't think he does. But if he were choosing between the two, I feel like just that sort of the style of football at Penn State aligns more with what he's doing. I really think it's just a personal decision. I'm not quite familiar with either of their NIL standings, but I personally think Penn State's a better job, but I'm also Big Ten biased. But that's why I think Billy Napier was fired, specifically because that is now your competition, where before it was Virginia Tech and Oklahoma State and potentially Auburn, which, by the way, something that I think is so funny this weekend was Auburn lost in double overtime against Mizzou, and Hugh Freeze was like, it would be really nice if the AD came out and said they were going to keep me. It would be cool if they said they support me, and then they didn't do it.
You didn't mention we didn't get to Luke Fickell, did we? I mean, you've been saying for weeks he's going to be fired.
So he got another sort of moment of support this weekend where their AD came out and they were like, we support Luke Fickell. We believe in Wisconsin football. We're going to invest money into Wisconsin football, which is not something that Wisconsin has done. And it's not something they've done for a long time. So I don't necessarily know how much I believe it, but they were shut out for the second time in a row this week against Ohio State. It's terrible times there, and I don't personally understand why they're sticking with Luke Fickell. Maybe it's because they look at this market now and you're like, okay, we're competing with Penn State and Florida and Virginia Tech and whatnot, but it's clearly not working at all. That is a truly terrible football team, and Wisconsin fans are deeply unhappy for a lot of reasons, but the big one is that there's a Wisconsin-based gas dealership there that they give you discounts via how much Wisconsin scores, and they haven't scored at all. So all their gas is full price. Same thing with Culver's. They can't get any free food from Culver's.
Why isn't this
cheese curds?
Why isn't this working out for Luke Fickell in Wisconsin? Because he appears to be out the door. He proved at Cincinnati. There's something to him. He has experience in the Big Ten. I'm surprised that the job is too big for him.
It wasn't even the job was too big for him. Luke Fickell, Wisconsin was a job that did not need an overhaul. It just needed tuning up. Wisconsin's identity has always been set. Wisconsin is you run the ball, you have beefy, Midwest offensive linemen, you have a strong defense, you need a serviceable quarterback and nothing else. Luke Fickell came in, even though they had a system that was working, it just wasn't to its peak, because Paul Chris never was as low as Luke Fickell is, and he decided, I'm going to hire Phil Longo to be my offensive offensive coordinator off the jump. Okay, bold move. That didn't work out at all. Completely deranged the entire identity of Wisconsin football. He said, we're going to do the air raid here. Where are you going to get the talent for that in Wisconsin? You're not going to do that. So it went so poorly. The defense suffered because of it. The offense suffered because of it. Their entire identity is gone. And so now he was like, okay, I'm going to redo it. I'm going to start over. I went and got the offensive coordinator from Kansas, but it's too late because you've already lost all that talent that would work with the original Wisconsin identity, which is the only way you can win there. And instead, you went and got a bunch of talent for a system that's just not going to work at your school. And in the meantime, Brett Bielema, he went and he got all those guys that you were going to have at Wisconsin, and now Illinois is what they are. It was just literally so dumb that I couldn't believe it when I was doing it. It was so silly.
I have to salute that analysis as the best that you will hear on Wisconsin football anywhere for this particular reason. What she is saying, that Wisconsin can only win, and they'll win 9 games a year and never any of the meaningful ones, but the only way they will do it if it's grass-fed, if it's corn husker type of beef that it is fed, and it's going to win by punching you in the face, and we can't get athletes who do anything
And it makes
else.
sense that their defense suffers because complimentary football, Dano. Lucy, I have to apologize to you. Last week, I trotted out the take that people don't like Carson Beck, maybe because he's not handsome. I don't know. But it's because he occasionally throws 4 interceptions and then displays bad leadership postgame. What do you make of that upset? I know there are some people that are doom and gloom. I never thought that there was an undefeated team in this nation, let alone Miami. I always thought that they were good for a dumb loss. And Louisville, very quietly over the last 2 years, just flatly doesn't lose games by more than 1 score. That is a well-coached team. Jeff Brom has showed he can upset teams.
Look, you're going to love my answer to this because I don't think too much of it because we've all been Jeff Brom before. This has happened to me personally many times. He always does this. He is very sneaky in the way that every year it feels like he just pulls something out of his bag and he's able to beat a really good team. Jeff Brom, I think, is one of the most underrated coaches in college football. They have a strict identity. They know who they are. He's such a good fit for that Louisville program. Yeah, Carson Beck had a rough game. I feel like sort of the thing with Carson Beck is you saw a little bit against Louisville, what you saw at Georgia last year, where when he is good, he is really, really good. But the second he flounders a little bit, it's all or nothing with him. I don't know if he casually just has an okay game. It's either a great one or he's going to throw 4 interceptions. But I'm not too worried about it because that is a good Louisville team. I don't think that's a bad loss by any means. And Jeff Brom just tends to do that. Yeah, the post-game presser, maybe not the best move. Maybe not a great idea. Maybe I would have just kept that one to myself. I think what's interesting now is that Miami doesn't control their own destiny to the ACC championship. They need Georgia Tech or Virginia to lose to make it to Charlotte, which is just kind of crazy to be in that position with a roster this good with the best team Miami's had in a very long time.
Well, I want to get inside, when we make these students or young people professionals, I want to get inside of whatever it is Carson Beck has been living for the last 3 years and just ask you, Lucy, as someone who was on the Georgia sideline predicting his interceptions last year, expecting his interceptions last year, when someone of this age is in a game where it is clear Brom is outclassing Miami everywhere, even though he does not have the athletes that Miami has, and also the game plan is clearly, nope, there will be no running in this game, friend. It's all you. You want to throw way downfield? Let's see, Beck, what you got. It's going to be all you. Plenty of pass protection. What do you have, Beck? You're telling me that that's a quarterback who shrinks there.
I mean, yeah, he's done that before. I think that was sort of the issue at Georgia is and I also think it's important to include the context of last year Miami had a quarterback who could, do that in that moment. So it's something you've been used to. That Carson Beck is obviously not of Cam Ward's caliber and just won't be. But yeah, I think it was just that was the first time they really had him in hell and he just kind of fell apart. And it's something he's done before. I don't think it's something that's going to happen a ton again, but it's also something worth noting. We're okay, it's good that you got this under your belt because you're going to play teams a lot tougher than Louisville going forward. I think my real issue with Carson Beck was just hey, you lost a game. It happens. You got to be a little bit smarter in the post-game press conference because Mike is right in the sense that, it is a little bit more difficult with him just because the reputation he has at Georgia and sort of that people don't like him. You got to be a lot smarter about the stuff you're saying.
Yeah, they feel Beck and his camp feel they slaughtered his reputation with how talkative they were and how the narrative was when Gunnar Stockton took over. It's like, this is the team's guy. And he felt it was unfair because he played while he was hurt, encouraged by the training staff to go out there and play while he was hurt. He felt like he gave it all for his team, and it wasn't reciprocated. I will say, though, I totally agree. He's got to be better in the post game. That felt a lot like the guy they were telling me about. Now, I know from talking to his camp, this offseason was very difficult for him. It was a big transition for a young man, and he rediscovered his passion for the game, and he came out more mature. He's going to need to. Teams are going to decide to take the run game away from Miami, especially if they have a conservative run game, which is just committed to the A-gap. Now they did that against FSU, and he torched them. The thing about FSU was he wasn't down 14-0 at the time and being in predictable passing situations. So Miami needs to clean things up to make sure that the running game can stay honest.
But Mike, he had such a great fall camp.
He
Better
did.
than Cam Ward.
He did. You want to throw that in my face like you know jack shit?
See,
that's
there
another
we
one.
are.
You know jack shit, Dano.
Like you don't know jack shit. Yeah, no, not by a little in fall camp. By a lot.
Happens to not know jack shit.
Lucy, does a one-loss Miami team that doesn't even appear in the ACC championship game, do they definitely make the playoffs?
This is begging, and
Well,
I won't
so,
have
no,
you do it. This is begging, and I won't have you do it. It's
Well, that's
disgusting what you guys are doing.
theoretically not possible. So, or I guess no, yeah,
Have
it
some
is because
dignity,
if
Zaslow.
Virginia and Georgia Tech finish the season undefeated and Miami beats SMU, but they still UVA and Georgia Tech undefeated, then they won't make the ACC championship game. Any team that only has one loss that's in the Power Four is going to make the playoff. Like, that's just going to happen, especially because, like, I test Miami as a very good football team. Like, I think it would take another, like, kind of, like, really stupid, dumb loss, which I actually don't think that Louisville loss was stupid, but we all know
but
there is the concern with Miami that happens.
But to me, this one was just so obvious in terms of how it is that Beck must have felt alone out there. Oh, I'm being outcoached everywhere. They're begging me to throw the football. They're not allowing us to run, even though the advantage we have in this game. The biggest surprise in that game is why wasn't Miami couldn't run. Brom wasn't going to let him run. He was going to try and cover those receivers with that secondary, and did. They made 3 great interceptions.
Yeah, they made unbelievable plays. I am curious if Miami does drop the other one. We know the other dumb one, and let's say it's just like last year, less by 1 score.
It could be Virginia. It could be Pittsburgh. It can be anywhere.
Well, it could be Virginia Tech. They don't play Virginia, which is another weird quirk.
Who's the one that you're talking about?
The ACC had this situation last year, and they're trying to address it by adding an additional conference game. But yeah, you have Georgia Tech, as Lucy mentioned. You had the weird thing with Virginia where they lost to an ACC team but are undefeated in the ACC conference.
It doesn't count.
Because it was a non-conference game because the teams decided they wanted to keep playing.
It's so funny.
Where Miami
That's bullshit.
Where Miami is aided is that, unlike last year, their non-conference wins appear to be really good. They have the USF win. They have the Notre Dame win. Based on form, Notre Dame looks like a top 5 team all of a sudden. And we know the committee likes good losses. Right now, presently, Louisville's ranked in the team.
What if Miami just says their Louisville loss is not an ACC game?
They should.
Lucy, why is that so funny?
Because it's just like ACC is so stupid. They're so dumb. What do you mean? Like, Miami truly would be in a great spot if that game had counted because Virginia lost, but it didn't. For no reason, they were like, yeah, we're just going to play each other, but it's non-conference.
What?
Okay, sure. That is so ACC. I love this silly little conference. They're so silly.
You and Zaslow are going to be in the same place this Saturday. Have either of you done Baton Rouge at night? Because it's insane.
I have not. I'm excited.
It's totally crazy. Have you been, Lucy, have you done this before?
This is one of my favorite spots, so I'm very, very excited, even though that this could be a Brian Kelly gets fired game, which actually I think is going to make it way more fun. I'm so excited. I love LSU fans. They are nuts.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I went last year. It was a day game. Terrible game. They played UCLA. Get the hell out of here. But this game, night game, everyone tells me Death Valley at night, Death Valley. Okay. What you got? I'm going to be there.
It's going to be pretty epic. Texas
A&M,
A&M,
that's actually so cool.
Texas A&M is really good, but they're playing in a conference, which, again, they're doing this
Does this
thing.
count in the conference game?
It does, but I do think the conference is overrated because it's being judged against its reputation from years past, and I think it's a type of conference where Texas A&M can lose to LSU, especially a nighttime game in that stadium. I don't understand why Tennessee is ranked ahead of the teams that they're ranked. They don't have a good win. Their best win is against Mississippi State, but again, good losses inside that conference.
I think we all need to take a moment to just reflect on the fact that Vanderbilt beat LSU this weekend and did not storm the field.
Oh, I'm going to say it again. Vanderbilt, this is one of the things that gets James Franklin and Billy Napier fired. Vanderbilt is 6-1 for the first time since 1950, and they've now defeated 2 top 10 teams in the last 12 months. They can play with Alabama. Everyone can see that they can play with Alabama.
No, they hung in that game. The final score isn't reflective of what a battle that game was. However, there is some fake news to this because I saw a report that said Vanderbilt, reputed to be a very intelligent school, very expensive school, they waited till LSU's personnel and players left the field so they would not be subject to the SEC fine, and then they went on the field.
Boo. Boo.
We have Lucy's
unserious program.
Lucy's Internet Minute. But, Jeremy, any last thoughts as Mike sort of hogged everything here with UM talk in a way that didn't allow a lot of room for objection?
I mean, my name is Jack Shit, related to the Shit family, as exemplified here by my hello, my name is Jack Shit.
I think
name tag, Mike.
I don't know, man.
Hi, Mr.
How are you going
Shit.
to tell me I don't know jack shit?
You don't know jack shit.
You thought Carson Beck was better than Cam Ward.
In fall camp. Yeah.
Also a better
He
runner.
was right at the time. No, I wasn't.
Oh, he was right at the time.
You were right at the time.
Yeah. Still right. I need a better fall camp. Were you at fall camp? I didn't see you there, Mr. Shit.
Again with the Mr. Jack Shit.
I was looking around for Mr. Shit. I didn't see him.
He hit me yesterday with some alums don't do anything for the program. That's what he hit. You hear he's throwing veiled shots all over the place. No, he was looking right at me.
Okay.
He was looking right at me and touting his own.
Oh, I know what that means.
Well, time to get in it. It's Lucy's Internet Minute.
Yay, that's so great. Kim Kardashian went on the Call Her Daddy podcast this weekend, which I'm actually not really a big fan of that podcast. We can talk about that later. But she had the most Lucille Bluth moment ever, where Alex Cooper, the host, asked her how much money she spent on makeup a year or on glam, and she was like, I don't know. I don't really know the price of things. Like, I'd love to figure out how much a milk carton cost. Oh, girl, you could just go to the store. Also, milk carton. She's had kind of a weird week. They released like a new line of Skims, which include a bush thong, which is just hair on the outside of the thong. She did an interview with a ski mask. Or, it's not a ski mask, but like I don't know what to call it, but something completely over her face. Yeah, like not even a veil though. It was real creepy. Yeah, she's having a weird week online, but she doesn't know how much milk costs, which like I didn't think she did, but I probably would have just kept that to myself.
How much are baby carts?
More expensive than you think. Much more, Dano.
Depends on the taste. But you know wives, Zaz.
Oh, I know what they like.
You know who also loves that? Babies.
It's a banana, Michael. What could it cost? $10?
How much is a baby heart on the black market?
You don't want to know. Don't ask that question ever again. Do not ever ask that question again.
Let's not ask that question.
Never ask that question.
Did you think that was a good question?
I respect you. Don't ask that question again.
Why'd you think that was a good question?
Ask the Democrats.
Lucy, thank you for being on with us. We'll talk to you next week. Jeremy is mad about the UM talk, and he's also mad because we're not talking enough baseball. I do not blame him. There was a Game 7 last night. Mike doesn't want to talk about Baker Mayfield all of a sudden.
He's missing high, till let's just get to that bye. No, I watched the entire baseball game. Multi-view, Dan. And this baseball game was incredible. It
was good.
I'm devastated.
The greatest Mariners season of this century dies on the doorstep because Toronto clubs the baseball, but also, God Almighty, is Toronto going to have any chance? They really hit. Vladimir Guerrero hits everything hard. Doesn't strike out and hits everything hard, but do they have any chance against four aces?
I mean, they have a chance. Like, the Mariners' pitching was really good throughout that series.
Cody has to walk to Seattle. Excuse me. Cody has to walk to Seattle. He loses that bet. Sorry about that.
We've developed a plan, though. I'm glad you mentioned that because we do need to close this thread.
Remember, he's old.
He's old.
And he has a bad knee.
And he's got a trick knee. We didn't say where he's walking from when he gets to Seattle. So we're going to find a neighboring town.
Okay,
fly him out.
We are committed to
Thank you.
You can take this to the bank.
Thank you.
Greg Cody.
Yes. Okay.
As long as I have air in my lungs,
all right.
we'll be walking to Seattle.
He lost the bet.
Just from a nearby town.
Why would he think a team can't come back from 2-0? I don't understand. Why would you be so confident that a team cannot overcome 2-0, let alone in baseball?
Probably because he had not watched either of those teams play the entire season until those 2 games. And if you only watched those 2 games, it seemed like there was a giant disparity between the talent levels.
And then he offered up the thing he would do if it happens. No one said, hey, what will you do? No, I'll walk to Seattle.
I really do love this World Series, the world's World Series, okay? Because Canada doesn't get to win these things, and this team is like, it's got a Major League Baseball chromosome, because more than taking descendants, we haven't seen Bichette yet. This team rakes.
And he's supposed to be back.
I thought Baltimore was going to win that division for 10 years. I'm surprised that Toronto had more wins. Toronto deserves to be there. Toronto, I think, had more wins during the regular season than the greatest roster ever assembled. Didn't Toronto win more games than the Dodgers this season? If they didn't, it was close because they won like 93 or 94 games. They're great, and they mash, but Dodger pitching is unprecedented with an ERA. Never mind the ERA. All the other advanced metrics that say it's the best starting pitching you've ever seen in a playoff.
No, you're right, Dan. I mean, to have Blake Snell back, like the reason that the Blue Jays did win one more game this season than the Dodgers did is because they maintained their health for most of it. Now, Bichette was out at the end of the year. That offense was consistent all year long. And in the playoffs, actually having Andres Gimenez at shortstop was kind of an advantage because Bo Bichette is not a tremendous defensive shortstop. But to add him to that lineup, a guy who led that team in hits, who was right near the top of the American League in hits, if there's a team that was going to be formidable for the Dodgers, it's this Blue Jays team because their bullpen is so spectacular that if the offense can give them a lead early, you have an opportunity to do some things. But George Springer, I mean, he's the guy here where now he's tied for 3rd all time in postseason home runs. He has his moment in a Blue Jays uniform.
I love that Blue Jays playoff crowd. It's so good.
It was spectacular. And to watch him be able to do that in that moment. Remember, just a few days ago, he took a 96-mile-an-hour fastball off his knee. I thought he broke his kneecap. He was writhing around on the ground, and then he comes back and has this moment in that spot to give them the lead as one of the great playoff performers of all time. He's the only guy on that team with World Series experience, including their bench coach, Donnie Baseball, who gets to be there, Donnie T-Ball.
This feels like a real World Series, though, where you have, obviously, Shohei Ohtani doing Herculean things, and then you've got Canada's team. Canada's team responsible for Joe Carter's home run, which once, a generation ago is the time that felt most like this.
Poor Mitch Williams.
It felt most like this in what it is you see. The last time you saw this in Toronto might have been the Batista bat flip in terms of, but you're talking about 20 years of this region cares deeply about this baseball team, and now it goes to fight the greatest roster ever assembled after a slugfight against the best Seattle team we've seen this century. Like, it's good storylines, but you got to give us some drama against the Dodgers. You can't just roll over. They're steaming everybody. Like they're steamrolling. The Dodgers, the Brewers are a very good baseball team. Like they had no chance. That's
the difference between the Brewers and the Blue Jays, though, is that the Blue Jays offense is more potent. What the Brewers were able to do throughout the year was like all the little things right. They would lay down bunts. They would bunt for base hits. They'd pull off hit and runs. They'd go 1st to 3rd really well. They weren't able to do those things against the Dodgers because they were striking out so much. The Blue Jays have more pop. And I mean, look at this photo. Putting Joe Carter and George Springer next to each other in those moments in Toronto, they have a chance. Do I think that they're going to win the series? No, I think the Dodgers should win this series. But if there was a team in the American League that had an opportunity, that if they got hot and played their best baseball that could beat the Dodgers, it would have been the Blue Jays probably from the start.
Congratulations to Bellevue, Washington. You're the closest city we deemed worthy of Greg Cody walking from. And how do we classify a city? City's got to have a mayor. So this is about a 4-hour walk that Greg Cody's got ahead of us. Not a small
10 miles. 10 miles in totality.
This is a man with a trick knee, folks.
He's got to make the walk. In the interim, let's hear the home run call, Springer home run call in French.
Une balle au cul de prise à Springer. La balle est frappée seulement en direction du champ gauche. À la piste d'avertissement. Circuit George Springer.
Sur une jambe et demie, on en parlait. Il va vivre un moment où il va faire la différence malgré le fait qu'il est blessé. Kurt Gibson sort de ce corps. C'est 4-3 pour les Blue La magie dans le stade!